All right, hello and welcome everyone to the $62,500 CSI 5-star Hermes Meter 50 Classic of the 5th week here at the Winter Equestrian Festival at Wellington International. I'm your host, Danny Waldman, and I'm thrilled to be here presenting our live stream. Sponsor today is, of course, Hermes. Since the company was founded in 1837, Hermes remains dedicated to making high-quality, handcrafted equestrian products for the horse, rider, and barn. Our workshops maintain a tradition of saddle making passed down from generation to generation of skilled artisans. With a strong commitment to innovation, Hermes integrates new materials and technology to develop high-performance technical apparel and equipment to meet the needs of riders at the highest levels of equestrian sport. Presenting our live stream today, Dot Technologies is an industry leader in creative design and technology support services for sports, entertainment, corporate, and special events. Visit them online at dottechnologies.com. Today's live stream is also presented in part with the support of the U.S. Equestrian Federation and the USEF Network. We're going to see 56 horse rider combinations coming up, over 14 nations represented. Weather out there is 75 degrees Fahrenheit, partly sunny, light breeze, beautiful day here, kind of one of the first nice, warm, balmy Florida days. And there you can take a look at our start list. Richard Vogel from Germany is going to get us started on a new horse. Laura Kraut's in there. Jordan Coil, of course, was third in our Grand Prix last night. Today he'll be on Chocolino. Then we've got Devin Ryan from the U.S. and Eddie Blue. Nicola Philipparts also jumped the very difficult class last night clear. Kean OConnor was second. We've got Mimi Gotchman coming up, McLean Ward. Shane Sweetnam's got 2 on the list. It's going to be a very exciting class. Jad Dano's won this class before. We'll see if he can do it again. Amy Miller also won this class a couple weeks back. And it's looking good. Tim Gredley for the UK coming up. Jessica Springsteen will be jumping Naomi. And Adrian Sternlicht also coming back on Clemens 72, the big jumper. We'll see McLean twice. Israel's Ashley Bond will come back out on a newer young horse, up-and-coming Elka de la Palme. And there's Ben Mayer, your world number 2. He'll be going 43rd in the order. And again, we're going to see 56 horse rider combinations today. Test this course set by the Frenchman, Gregory Baudot. Of course, he is building our courses in in Paris this summer for the Olympics coming up. And there you can see Shane Sweetnam will finish out on his superstar James Conn Cruz. So it's going to be a great startup, and we will be underway shortly. I think we're just about to get underway. Horses and riders are out in the warm-up, getting themselves ready. I've taken a look around the course. It looks a little bit bigger than some of these meter 50s have been. Again, it's $62,500 for this Hermes meter 50 Classic. So a lot of money up for grabs, as well as those valuable 5-star world ranking points. So horses and riders bringing out the big guns for today. Triple goes very late in the course, so we're going to see it's a bit of a stamina test. It's all over the ring. The wall coming up early at number 4. A couple of Liverpools. A Skinny Oxer at number 8. That's a jump we don't see so often. And has a couple little like plants at the bottom of it. That's a very tricky jump to jump. There's an offset Liverpool vertical, an offset Oxer with those pale blue rails, those minty green rails, which we saw come down a lot last night. They're in the course as well, so it's very delicate. There's a plank. Gregory not going easy on anyone today. And there you can see our first one coming in the ring. Getting us started, Germany's Richard Vogel and Dreamstar 1. He'll be our leadoff rider for the $62,500 Hermes CSI 5-star meter 50 Classic. Ranked 11th in the world. And Richie is sitting on Dreamstar 1. 11-year-old Cell Francais mare, owned by Elon Ferder, by Cartoon with the Cannon mother. So, looks like he is an ad at the top of our original start list. And he is going to show everyone how it's done. But I think it's going to take some jumping today. Again, all week long, the courses have been delicate and difficult, and we've seen rails fall all over the place, which is great testament to wonderful course building. We're asking multiple questions all over the courses. All right, let's take you through what this course looks like to get us started. Off the right lead, away from the in-gate, number 1 here, Oxer. Then it's a bending right turn, kind of between B and C of the triple to a nice plain vertical here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Stays out on the bend to give himself space at number 3. Very square Oxer there. Now it's left-handed bend, roll back to this wall. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Coming in, Oxer vertical double. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Stays on it there in the 7. 2, 3, 4, 5. So very connected, that whole line across the middle and up on the top. Now rolling back on that delicate, skinny Oxer. And then you see the back pole comes down. He was a little bit far off it, maybe just tinked it behind. Now the vertical Liverpool. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nice and patient. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. To the Liverpool Oxer. We may see some outside 9s there. And then it's down to the triple here. 1 stride Oxer, 2 stride. 1, 2, 3. Steady up in the 4 to the last. So Richie will finish up 73.01 with the 2 down, 8 faults. So that will be our leadoff score. He had B of that triple. And the back pole of the skinny Oxer at the fidelity jump. So a couple of options, especially there to this Liverpool that you see. Some people might do out in 9. Richie did in the 8. Our time allowed is 75 seconds. So we will keep an eye on that these first couple rounds. Richie was well within that. But let's see if Colombia's Roberto Tarantafour and DSP Callis, the Elon Ferder entry of the 12-year-old gelding Baucado with the Lord Colando. So looking like Elon Ferder owning our first 2 horses. Just patient here. Gets over that nicely. Just nice there in the 6, right up to the base of that Oxer vertical. That's the key with that, right? You just want to get to the base with power and balance taken off when it's an Oxer first coming into a double. When it's a vertical, of course, you want maybe a little bit slower, a little bit more collected, but the Oxer need a little bit of power. There he steadies up, gives himself good space there. Lands a little bit dead so he can move up here in the 7. 6, 7, 8. He was a little bit on that inside track, could really steady up for the 8. Actually think that worked out quite well for him. A little bit left-right here. You can see the horse kind of shifting, changing his leads a little bit. This horse jumping well. 1 left to go. Clears the last, but he will pick up that 1 time fault, 75.96. It's about 9/10 of a second over that time allowed. Will give him the 1 time fault. So we will monitor that time allowed. But again, with 55 to see in there, 56 to see in this class, I have a feeling that they're not going to change the time because he was just on it. All right, we're going to take a look at USA's 29-year-old Charlotte Jacobs and her wonderful mount, Ringola Milchon. Owned by North Star, and Ringola Milchon is 11-year-old Irish-bred gelding by Emerald with the Understone mother. Actually, it's not. It's an Aldatis by Cruising. There's a little bit of confusion there on the screen, but it is an Irish-bred gelding. It is 11, but it's by Aldatis and Cruising. All right, and it's such a wonderful horse. And she's had tremendous success on it. It is a small horse, but a mighty one. So springy. I was talking to Devin Ryan earlier, and we were saying both, God, this is a dream horse to ride. Or at least it looks it. Just look at that. Powers over that oxer like it's nothing. The way that's set that number 3, it's a little bit kind of at the base of a mild decline in the ring and makes that front pole hard to jump. Beautiful here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, that was great. She got right up to it. Then she could move forward and steady up. So careful there. Nowhere near the plank. Sails over that skinny oxer at the Fidelity. She's looking really good so far. He's jumping great. Stared down a tiny bit at that. Look at this great expression, though. Yeah, looking good so far. She stays on the inside track. Also, strong ride there at the Liverpool. She's looking good coming in here. Right to the base of the vertical in. A little bit of leg at B. Sits up, adds leg. Keeps the energy to the last, and look at that. Beautiful clear round, but she also will pick up 2 time faults. Oh, maybe not. 74.05. That'll give her the clear. So, Charlotte Jacobs on the clear, getting us started. That was an absolutely beautiful round on one of everyone's favorite horses. So, we'll see if we get another clear and have a jump off, but she's always one to be afraid of because she's very fast, and that horse can be lightning. So, well done to Charlotte. But let's take a look at the USA's Laura Kraut. Ranked 24th in the world, Laura Kraut is sitting on Calvary Tame, the Stars and Stripes entry of the 12-year-old gelding by old chap Tame with the cashmere mother. Looking good so far. Strong ride there at the wall. She moves up here in the 6. Ooh. Touches B coming out, but it looks like that stays up. She had to add a lot of leg coming in. She got quite a lot of speed coming into that double. So the balance was a little bit on the horse's head as it rolled the top part of that rail, but luckily that stayed up. Keeps moving a little bit. This horse maybe not having the biggest stride out there, so Laura just using a little bit of her speed. She was maybe a tiny bit off of 11, just cut down a little bit at the back pole. But she is trying to be quick. Good jump there. A little bit far off the last, but strong ride, so she gets there. 4 faults times 70.21, so well within our 75-second time allowed. She was moving that whole time. But with that late fault at number 11, the back pole of the Liverpool Oxer, she will pick up the 4 faults, and that will keep her out of our jump-off. Okie dokie. Let's take a look at our next one. And that is going to be the man who was 3rd in our 5-star Grand Prix last night, Jordan Coil of Ireland, and the Elam Farm entry, Chocolino. Jordan is ranked 87th in the world, 31 years of age. He had a spectacular first round in our 5-star. He was the Pathfinder last night, so it was a very tricky course, and he was the first one to go clear and put in a spectacular performance and finished up 3rd in our class and on the podium. Let's see if he can do that again today. Of course, he's sitting on a different one, Chocolino, 2011 gelding by Choco Blue with the Heartbreaker mother. So it's nice how everybody's really riding that 7. You can see great camera angle here where the you can see they're really using the shape of that 7 so that they can keep the pace up because it's a big enough oxer at number 3. There he just maybe gets a little bit long and weak coming in, has the back pole, the oxer into that double. And there the horse's balance just looked like he didn't quite jump up and back and away from the plank, kind of just jumped right into it. Again, the plank always one of the harder jumps to jump. 1, it is physically a much lighter piece of wood. And 2, optical illusion of the way that the plank is. The horses somehow see the rounder poles better than they see that very flat plank, as well as the plank sitting on those very flat cups, so that if you do touch it, chances of it coming down are even higher. Nowhere for it to roll. Basically just knocks off a little ledge. Beautiful jump through there. Horse really using his shape and athleticism. Gets over the last. He will pick up a couple of time faults. 4 on the clock, 8 on the jumping, 12 total, 78.02 for Jordan Coil and Chocolino. So again, Ringola, Milshawn, and Charlotte Jacobs showed everyone the way. So we know that it can be done, but let's see if anyone else can do it. Next up is going to be Columbia's Mark Blumen, Over the Top Stables, LLC entry, Ncha VD Windtable. 32-year-old rider, ranked 109th in the world. Marky also had a really good round last night in the Grand Prix. Little bit long there, maybe just a little bit late to kind of stay on the pace through that 7, was a little bit far off it. You could see the horse kind of reach across the back, just not able to get across the back pole. And there, just a little bit of speed, jumping a little bit flat coming into that double, has a NB down. Ride there to the Hermes Oxer. That was a beautiful ride right to the base of that Liverpool. He had space, but he had a lot of power. You could tell that the horse is going to jump it really well. Little stretch there at B. Moves up in the 4. Gets over the last, but with those few earlier rails, 12 faults, 74.03. So within that time allowed, but on the 12 faults for Marky and Ncha. All right, next up's going to be the team gold medal winning mount of Devin Ryan and Eddie Blue. Of course, they won the team gold in the World Championships back in Tryon in 2018. Devin is 42 years of age. And long-time partner of his, of course. He's had this horse since he was about 5 years old. And Eddie is owned by the LL Show Jumpers LLC. By VDL Zirocco Blue with a Marlon mother. This has been a wonderful partnership over the years. Let's see what they can do. And Eddie, of course, notoriously loves to cross canter a little bit. It's a little bit the way he's gone. He's gone that way his whole life. They're just having the front pole down, maybe getting there a little right to left of an angle, kind of cut across it a little bit as he jumped it. Nice shot here. And there, just looked like Devin steadied up to get the 5. And Eddie kind of just not getting those front legs out of the way. A little bit of a touch on the back pole there of the skinny Oxer as well, but that one stays up. Jumps that Liverpool really well. Nice shot there in the 8 to the Liverpool Oxer. And 1 left to go. Clears the last, but he will pick up 2 jumping faults, 8 faults total, 73.22 is the time. So well within that time allowed, but with the 2 down for Devin Ryan. Again, still sitting on the 1 clear at the moment.
He is piloting a 12-year-old Belgian warm-blood. Here's the DDR for the opening round.
All right, we will move on to Ireland's Conor O'Regan. And he is sitting on Menini DR, the Dynamite Ranch LLC entry of the 12-year-old Belgian-bred mare by Hunter Sendix with the Cassini 1 mother. Taking a little pause there. So certainly difficult enough out on the course. And we've seen one clear so far. We've got quite a lot jumping, 56 horse rider combinations. But I have a feeling we're going to see a number of clears, but lots of watching to do. All right, Conor is off. There you can see him really moving in the 7. Stayed out on the track, but really kept the pace up to get there nicely in the 7 with the power to jump the big oxer. There, just comes into the double. Rode up for the line, but had a little bit too much speed at the oxer coming in. Little bit far off there at the skinny. Kind of held him off that front pole, but got across the oxer well. Wasn't sure it was going to do that, actually. And here he steadies up, does the one more. So we've seen mostly 8s there. That was the 9. Worked out. He sort of did a little bit of a last-minute adjustment, but it did work out for him. A little bit of a stretch there through B. They're actually jumping the triple quite well. Gets over the last, but we'll pick up 2 on the clock, 76.26. So 2 on the clock, 2 on the course, total of 10 faults for Conor O'Regan and Menini DR. All right, we're moving right along. Number 10 in the order. Heading on in, it's going to be Zoe Contre and Enrico de la Palme, the Stefex Stables of Belgium entry of the 10-year-old gelding by Vigo Darsui with the Ingmar mother. And, actually, this horse is Dam Sire's Ingmar. Ingmar is like one of my favorite horses, actually. It won the World Cup. It was really a superstar horse. And always the interesting fact about Ingmar is that he gives almost only mares, which is a really rare thing to say. I mean, you can't imagine that that's not just genetic selection, but seems to only give mares in breeding. Very interesting. There's only 3 stallions from 94 coverings. But an awesome horse. All right, and we're taking a look at Enrico. So he's been riding really, really well. Getting some help from Michael Duffy over here in Florida. Sits up in the 5, jumped the plank beautifully. Zoe really set that up well and let the horse jump up to her. Great shot there as well. I really like this horse. I think it jumps in a good shape. Looks nice to ride. Really kind of pats the ground. You can see its last stride is the one that it grabs the ground the most, which is a great skill and quality we want in horses. Oh, that fell very, very late. That was a real shame because actually it was super round. She will pick up 1 on the clock as well. 75.97 is that time. But 4 jumping and the 1 on the clock will give Zoe a total of 5. Very late fault there at B of the triple. What a shame because lovely round. All right, we're going to move on to another one who was clear in our 5-star Grand Prix last night. He, of course, was my pick to win. He did not win, but he was clear, so I was close in my guess. Of course, it's going to be Nicola Philipparts and Pandora Vandakova. owned and ridden by Nicola. This is a 9-year-old Belgian-bred mare by Sidan with the Elvis de Pata mother. Beautifully done there. Nicola's a tall guy, but does such a good job with bloody horses. And this one you can see really grabs the ground. So very careful there. That was a neat turn back to that skinny. Again, time allowed is tight enough. We're seeing quite a lot of time faults. And I think that's something that the course designer for sure is opting to do in today's meter 50, because you could end up with really a lot of clear, knowing the strong field of horses and riders, and it only being at meter 50. Again, some people bringing horses up to this level, but being a 5-star and all with the top riders and horses, time allowed is a good way to keep it from too many in the jump off, but not going to keep Nicola Philipparts out. 71.59, well within that time allowed, and into our jump off. So actually, we are now assured a jump off. Pandora, and as well as Ringola Milshon. So that is going to be 2, assuring us of a jump off coming up in a little bit. All right, next up, a man who was second in last night's 5-star Grand Prix presented by Fidelity Investments. What a spectacular class that was. And of course, it's going to be Ireland's Kean O'Connor and Fermoy. So sitting on a different horse today, Fermoy is owned by Susan Magner, and it is a 10-year-old stallion by Chaco's son and a light on mother. But Kean was absolutely spectacular last night. And it was a completely Irish podium. So Irish domination last night. This horse has a lot of blood. Looking good so far. All right, he's looking good so far. Again, this horse has a lot of blood, very uphill balance, jumping beautifully. Very expressive kind of jump. Very compact horse, nose to tail, but jumps in a classical form. Adds a little bit of leg there, moves up to that Hermes Oxer. Sometimes that Hermes is really hard to jump. It's actually jumping really well today. Big jump there at the Liverpool. You could see Kean use his upper body to help keep the body of the horse up in the air. Oh, a shame just having the back pole there of B of the triple. Actually, not the first time we've seen that come down. But that 4 faults times 74.75 will keep Kean out of today's jump off. But again, 10-year-old stallion coming along, but looks like it's going to be a really nice one for Kean. He's got such a super group of horses at the moment. Great supporters behind him, and lovely to see consistent results out of the Carlswood and Coolmore teams. Okie dokie, we're going to take a look at USA's Mimi Gotchman. Of course, second in our 4-star Grand Prix last week, but today she's sitting on England BH. 9-year-old gelding by Staccato Gold with the Raphael mother, owned by DG Sport Horse LLC. Mimi riding with Derek Kenny, of course, our big winner from last night. So it's nice that she has a mentor and a coach who's in the sport as well, and I'm sure he's imparting tons of wisdom to this young superstar rider. Gets just a little bit too deep there. You could see she was steadying up and just got there a little bit too early in the 6, having the front pole coming into the double. Great body control there. You could see she just sat up barely bent over. Just let the horse kind of jump around that plank. A little bit of a touch at the Liverpool behind, but that one stays up. Gets a great jump. The horse really threw a beautiful round jump there at the Hermes. And again, just jumping a little bit forward, the horse just jumped into that front pole of the Liverpool. It's a good quality when they jump forward. It means they tend to have a lot of scope and eagerness to want to get to the other side, but it's always a balancing act trying to take the younger ones. Again, this horse just 9 years of age. 74.92, 12 faults for Mimi and England. So sometimes you want them to jump forward. When you see a young horse that jumps forward, that's a great quality. But just coming up to this level, Mimi will just have to figure out how to contain that forward jump to get a little bit more height. All right, let's take a look at the USA's McLean Ward and Lex. 11-year-old gelding by Baltic with the Chin Chin mother, owned by Bonchance Farm and Gilberto Sayao da Silva and McLean Ward himself. Ooh, land spook a little bit playful there. You could see really shifted on the landing side. McLean doing a good job to just keep it organized. The horse looks a little fresh and playful. Look at that. This is quite a big horse. Steadies up in the 6. Beautiful jump there. Jump that double, great. Really steadies up there. McLean did a great job to collect the horse's stride. You could really see shape and roundness in the horse as he collected. He didn't just slow the stride down. He actually shortened the length of the step, and that made the 5 work out great to the plank. There he just has the top pole of the Liverpool behind. Big jump at the Liverpool Oxer there. Gets through there, has a little bit of a touch at B, stays up, steadies up a little bit for the last, gets over the last, but just will pick up that 1 fault, 4 penalties. Time 73.97 for McLean and Lex. So, big time jumper that, but just having the 1 down. All right, and now we're going to move on to Ireland, Shane Sweetnam. And the Seabrook LLC entry, Irandol Duflo. Shane ranked 12th in the world at the moment. And this horse, 14-year-old mare by Vivaldi with the Ogonacita mother. This has been a tremendous mount for Shane. Shane also another one of the riders that has a wonderful group of horses at the moment, all coming up to the higher level. And rounding out his string will be the one we'll see later, James Conn Cruz. But this horse won 2 classes last week out on the field. Such a fast, competitive horse. Actually won this Hermes Classic last week. But this just, trier of an animal. Just knows where the poles are. Be fun to ride a horse that you can really rely on and trust, and very quick. There you could see he was very careful about the front pole, but the horse really made it a little extra effort to jump the back. Nice space there at that Liverpool. Steadies up for the 7. Good shot there. And gets over the last in that time allowed, 73.20. So another clear for Irandel Duflo and Shane Sweetnam. That'll bring our count up to 3 on the good list so far. But clearly a superstar for Shane. Every time that horse comes out, just tries his little heart out for him. Or she tries her heart out for Shane, and he will be an exciting one to watch in our jump off. All right, we're going to move on to USA's Kathleen Driscoll, 30-year-old rider, ranked 60th in the world, and she is going to be on a Rome. Plain Bay Farm entry of the Cell Francais, 14-year-old gelding by Norway de Lalande with the Attila 3 mother. She's looking good so far. This horse I've watched now over the last 2 seasons, and she's had tremendous success on this horse. Jumped some of the 5 stars. It's a very capable horse. A little bit long head to tail, but Kathleen does a good job managing that stride there. You could see she made the adjustment to fit that in. 5 a little bit tight, just touches the plank, but that one stays up. Again, hard to touch the plank and have it stay up. So lucky there. Nice space at the Liverpool. She's looking good so far. Gets over B, steadies up there at C. 1 left to go. She looks okay on the time, and she is 73.72. That'll be 2 in a row, clear and into the jump off. Kathleen Driscoll and a Rome into our, what is now a 4-horse jump off. So I think we'll see a number more clear, but that was a beautiful round from Kathleen. All right, we're going to move on to the 21-year-old rider for the USA, Hallie Grimes, and the Can We Keep It LLC entry, Chocado PS. 12-year-old gelding by Diablo Blanco with the staccato mother. Again, the Argolith staccato is also just staccato, in case you guys were looking up the breeding. And Diablo Blanco, the sire of this horse, could also be known as Choco Lover. So it actually had 2 names. Probably where the Chocado came from. Paul Schockemuller breeding, of course, with that PS at the end. Here she steadies up, really makes an adjustment. Very steady to number 2. Stays on it, shifts a little bit across that yellow oxer, but no problem whatsoever. She does have a block off the wall, I see. Just maybe look like she got there a little bit early and just kind of pushed one of those out of the way. Nice over that plank. Hallie just keeping things very contained. We'll have to keep an eye on her time. She seems like she's just being a little bit patient. Nice there. She'll have to be neat back here to the triple. Just nice and steady and patient. Really curls around A there. A little bit shifting left through that triple. Gets over the last, but I do think she will pick up a time fault. She does. 76.13, 2 on the clock, 4 on the course. That's 6 total for Hallie Grimes and Chocado PS. So again, we're on the 4 clear at the moment. And we're making our way down this list for the $62,500 Hermes CSI 5-star meter 50 Classic. All right, we've got Canada's Mario Delorier, 67th ranked rider in the world, and Costa Quick PS, owned by Aram Apagumayan LLC The 10-year-old Oldenburg mare by Conthargos with the Quick Star mother. Let's see what Mario can do. He had an unexpected round in the Grand Prix last night. His longtime partner, Bartolina, didn't feel like it last night, and did not work out for them. I think he was surprised by horse just spooked a little bit at the wall, and I mean that horse has jumped the World Championships, the Olympics. It was very unexpected, but he's sitting on Costa Quick today, and Costa Quick is jumping good. Very athletic horse, of course, by Conthargos. She's a super popular stallion that died young, but really creating gummy athletic horses, and you really see that in this horse. Really looks like Conthargos himself. Nice shot there. And again, you can see he's just riding in a hackamore, so no bit. There, the horse dropped behind him a little bit. He really put the leg back on, redirected the horse towards the jump. That was well ridden there by Mario. A little bit shift there in the triple. He's looking good so far. Will he get within that time? Yes, just 74.98. 0.02 of a second under that time allowed, but that will give Mario and Costa Quick a clear and our 5th onto the good list so far. So just under that time allowed, but good enough to be in our jump off. And this is another one who has won this class before. Let's see if Lebanon's Jad Dana and the Peter Howard and Laurie Sudreau entry, Caro W. 12-year-old Holsteiner gelding by Castellan with the Aragorn mother. Can he add his name to our good list? We're going to see shortly. Jad's such a super rider. And he's been close a couple of times this season, but let's see if he can pick up another meter 50 win to his name. Beautiful jump there. Strong ride to the wall. Jumps really nice through that double. Jad's so connected to the horse. You can see how tight he is in the saddle. Legs really wrapped around the horse. Rides with his seat. But his whole body is very well connected. From the hip down, you can see he's really one and around the horse. Good shot there. Oh, just cut on a little bit of an angle left to right as it jumped that. It kind of took off okay, and then it just went a little bit hard right as it took off, and just didn't quite get across that back pole. What a shame. It's actually jumping great. Gets over the last nice strong ride, but will pick up that one down at the Hermes, 74.68. 4 faults, and he will go into 9th place at the moment with that 4-fault round for Jad Dana and Caro W. So 5 clear. It's looking like it's going to be a very exciting jump off. A couple of really strong ones in that jump off so far. But let's see if Italy's Giorgio Bucci and Hanano can add their name. Source owned by Marcelo Bucci and the Iron Horse Farm by Quasimodo with the numero uno mother. It's a 12-year-old gelding. Very strong hind leg. You can see the horse really active with that hind leg, grabbing the ground as it canters. There just looked like he shifted a bit at 3 as he took off, jumping a little bit into that front pole. Not the first time we've seen that happen today. That jump is set awkwardly. It's not such an easy jump off the connected line, the 7 to it. Nice shot here. And gets over the Hermes. That was a little bit of a touch maybe on the way down. Hard to say. And it looks like PG is actually another one of the riders that bridges his range. You can see the loop across the top there. So he will also pick up 1 on the clock. 4 jumping, total of 5, 75.85 for Giorgio BCI and Hanano. So nice solid round, but a little bit under that pace with the 1 down. We'll give them 5 faults and into 11th at the moment. All right, now we're going to take a look at Brazil's Eduardo Pereira de Menezes in the H5 Sport Horses LLC entry. H5 Chacos Charlie, PS. 11-year-old stallion by Elite. It is an 11-year-old Mecklenburg stallion. Whew, taking off a little bit with him here. Just a little bit strong. He's going to make a circle just to get that control back. Doesn't need to start. You can see that start clock, the countdown on the right corner of your screen. So he had plenty of time to make a little circle, organize. Don't ever want to go to that first jump just because you feel like you got to get there. Oh, has the first jump down anyway. I was going to say it was a smart move to make that circle. But horse just looked like he had gotten a little bit distracted and just not focused there at 1. A little bit strong there at 3 as well. And maybe with the 2 early faults, Eduardo might be calling it a day. It looks like he will retire within the round. So no score there for Eduardo and Chacos Charlie. Again, we are sitting on 5 clear at the moment. And of course, thanks to today's class sponsor, Hermes, for supporting the Meter 50s Classic all season long here at the Winter Equestrian Festival. All right, we're going to move on to the lady who won this class a couple of weeks ago. It is Canada's Amy Miller. She is ranked 58th in the world. And she is sitting on Cristiano, the Future Adventures entry of the 14-year-old gelding by Canoso with the complement mother. I believe this is the horse she won this class on a few weeks ago. She had a super round. So we know she can do it. Can she do it again today? Good start. And Amy's such a successful rider. Olympics, World Championships, just coming from that dynasty family, the Millers in Canada. Oh, just has B coming out of that double. Just a little bit flat there at the plank as well. Maybe just a little bit quick. Horse just not quite taking his time to jump up and around those jumps. Just a little bit quick at the verticals. Sits up and steadies for the Hermes. A little bit of a slice across that. One left to go. Clears the last, but we'll pick up those 2 down. 8 faults. Time is 71.51 for Amy Miller and Cristiano. So they will not be picking up the win again today, but solid round there for Amy. All right, we are going to take a look at Conor O'Regan's second entry of this class. And now he's sitting on the Del Shore Horses LLC entry. Manchester, 12-year-old Belgian-bred gelding by Quidam de Revel with the Codex mother. This horse has been jumping really well. And let's see what he can do today. A little bit slow there at 1, but looking good. And I really like this horse. I've seen it now jump a number of times. I think it's really an athletic one. Of course, classically bred with that Kean de Revel, most popular kind of breeding stallion back in the day. And Kean himself was really a great horse, real like foundation sire of modern sport horses. A little bit of a reach there across the skinny. And he's looking good so far. And loses a little bit where he's headed, just a little bit crooked, but gets him back on track. Jumps that big. Coming around the turn, he's still clear. We'll have to keep an eye on that clock. He might be a little bit close. Oh, but he does pick up the vertical coming into the triple. And gets over our last one. But he'll finish up time 74.67 on the 4 faults. And I am very pleased to say that we have last night's Grand Prix winner with us here. Of course, the man of the hour, Mr. Dara Kenny. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Well, we are thrilled to have you. Of course, you had a spectacular evening last night. And thanks for joining us in the booth today to take a look at the meter 50.
Yeah, no problem. It was a good evening.
It certainly was. You had a great week. You were second in the WEF as well.
Yeah,
so.
good week. Good week now.
Yeah, tell us, what did you think about last night? How did it feel?
It was great. It was a fantastic result. The horse jumped amazing. I thought the course designer did an incredible job. He's a fantastic course designer. He did really technical, really delicate. I thought he did a great job, and obviously it suited me.
It certainly did, and you left that stride out around the turn, I thought, and that's certainly where you caught him. And
yeah.
it was wonderful.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a look at the USA's Bull Runs Faustino Detilly and Kristen Vanderveen. This horse, of course, she's been tremendously successful with over the years. I know you've seen this horse jump a ton. And Frosty, as they call him, the 19-year-old stallion.
Yeah, he's a fantastic horse. She's won a lot with him, and he's been a great horse for her. I think he's breeding a lot, actually, in America.
Is he?
At the moment.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So I think that's good. I mean, it's great that that we're doing some breeding here in the U.S., and especially with a stallion like this that's had so much success. And we need to keep the good ones here in the U.S.
Exactly.
Just having B coming out of the double there.
It's funny. It's a bit similar to last night. The guy has done an incredible job again. You know, the course, when you walk it walks very easy, very straightforward. You know, all the lines are pretty normal. But then it's jumping so delicate, and a lot of faults everywhere. He's doing a really, really good job this week.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's an awesome preview for what's going to be in Paris for all the riders. I think a lot of people were excited to have him come here and give everyone a little taste of what's going on. Looking like Kristen just having a couple down and choosing to withdraw for the rest of the round, and with her longtime partner. So she will call it a day, and we will move on to our next. Again, sitting on 5 clear so far. So, I mean, like we said, when we walked it, it was looked straightforward enough. I thought it was a little bigger than some of the other meter 50s have been so far this season, but that seems about right for the 5-star.
Yeah, like it was, you know, I jumped the meter 50 2 weeks ago. It definitely wasn't as big as this. This is a little bit tougher. I was speaking to Gregory on Thursday after the WEF, and he said he was actually quite surprised by the standard here. You know, he didn't expect it to be as high as it was. You know, a lot of very good riders, a lot of very good horses, and so I think today he's built a little bit more beefy and to try and sort it out a little bit more.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to take a look at USA's Jimmy Turano and Cochio Z. 10-year-old gelding by Cannon with the Diamante Semele mother, and it is owned and ridden by Jimmy himself.
This is a very good horse that I saw at indoors this year. Jimmy has had it about a year now, and I think it's a really quality horse. It's new kind of to this level, but I think it's a really quality horse.
Yeah, I saw it jump the other day. I thought it was really nice as well.
Jimmy's normally sitting in here, and I'm out there.
Yeah, exactly. Now you get to commentate his rounds. Turning the tables.
Yeah, normally he's very nice to me, so I have to be nice.
Well, it's easy to be nice to you
Yeah.
because you do a killer job.
Yeah.
Last night's class was so exciting. It was wonderful to watch. Also, you on that horse, you know, I think it's nice to see
Yeah.
that horse back up at this level. Everyone's always loved that animal, and you do such a great job with him.
It definitely meant a lot to me for him to have, you know, a win like that in his career. You know, he's such an incredible horse, and he always deserves something like that. So it was a little bit emotional.
It certainly was, but as it should be. It's one of those things, you know, we say for ourselves we want the wins, but actually I think we always want it for the horse, you know,
Yeah.
for the horse's legacy to have that as part of its history. I think that's wonderful.
Exactly. Jimmy's doing a good job here.
He is. It's looking really good. One left to go. Strong ride here to the last.
Very good.
Gets over it. And how's that time? I think he's okay.
Yeah.
73.64. And Jimmy will add his name and Coachio Z to our jump off. That'll bring us up to 6 at the moment. And
That's a quick horse normally in jump
Yeah.
offs. Like I've seen it do a good few speed classes. It's a quick horse. I think Jimmy will have a good chance today.
absolutely. And I don't know if you saw the others that are clear. Of course, Charlotte Jacobs and that wonderful Ringola Milchon. Everybody loves that horse.
Yeah.
So she's in it. Shane Sweetnam on the really fast one. Erindole. We've got Nicola Philippart. So it's going to be a great jump off, I think.
Really competitive.
All right, we're going to take a look at USA's Naomi Van Het Kaisershofen, Jessica Springsteen, the Stonehill Farm entry of the, what is she? She's an 11-year-old Belgian-bred mare by Cardento. Jessie actually would have won our meter 50 speed class the other day, and she had the second to last jump down, but she was super quick. That was also a difficult class.
Also a very competitive horse. Really, really careful.
Absolutely. Jumped really good into that double. Maybe landed a little bit on his head.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, balance got a little bit down and just stayed on its head a little bit. And just had a little rub at B. Normally it doesn't do that actually.
Yeah, it's such a careful mare. And Jesse's had this horse for a couple of years now, been developing it, and now it's getting really solid at this level.
Yeah, I think she bought it out of the Hendrick Sport auction there in Holland, and
She did.
it's been an incredible horse for her. Very competitive, wins a lot of classes.
Absolutely. Just looking like losing the shape, a little bit of the jump now at the end of this course. We'll pick up a couple down at the end, so she will finish with 16 faults, times 74.26 for Jessica Springsteen and Naomi.
Unfortunately, this is horses, and some days they don't go the way we want them to.
Exactly. That horse, and very uncharacteristic
Yeah.
of it. Normally, it's such a careful one, and just look like maybe getting a little insecure at the end. So we're going to take a look at Ireland's Paul O'Shea, ranked 91st in the world, and Paul is sitting on the Eye Candy Jumpers entry Squirt Gun. Of course, Paul won the Grand Prix in the 4-star out on the field last week, which was also a very challenging course. And but today he's sitting on Squirt Gun.
Yeah, I was just saying to somebody last night, actually, when I was walking the course for the Grand Prix, the course designers they've had for the last few weeks between Peter Grant, Anderson Lima, and Gregory Bodo, they're fantastic courses they've built all the weeks, and it's really great for us riders to have, you know, that level of course designing. It just pushes us to be better, you know.
Absolutely. It's nice that Wellington is really attracting these type of course designers that's really high quality, where you're not only just jumping week after week, but like last night, I thought it was amazingly, it was a unique course. You know, that line along the VIP with the bend to the double was something I don't think I've ever seen in this ring before. It was nice to see something different, but also test the riders in a way that, maybe a lot of Europeans are used to that standard, but not always here. So now Florida's up in its game.
It was very interesting because actually, if you look at all his courses all week, he never builds jumps on the side of the ring.
No, I mean, this here is probably the closest to the rail that we've seen.
So he keeps you off the rail, so you don't get any balance from the side of the rail. Like he makes it very tough that you have to have balance with your horse. You have to be in timing, and it has to be very professionally ridden.
And that was exactly what Paul just did. Another clear round, 71.99 quick time for Squirt Gun, and they will add their name to our jump off, bringing our count up to 7. So that was professionally executed, as you said.
It's going to be a very fast jump off. That's an incredibly quick horse. Paul is obviously a super rider, and he does a brilliant job. And that'll be quick in the jump off. So
absolutely, and I think that's exactly what we expect from 5-star competition here at Wellington International for the Winter Equestrian Festival. I think it's going to be it's been great sport all week, but I think it's going to be a really good jump off today. Of course, thanks to our class sponsor today, Hermes. Since the company was founded in 1837, Hermes remains dedicated to making high-quality, handcrafted equestrian products for the horse, rider, and barn. Our workshops maintain a tradition of saddle making passed down from generation to generation of skilled artisans with strong commitment to innovation. Hermes integrates new materials and technology to develop high-performance technical apparel and equipment to meet the needs of riders at the highest levels of equestrian sport. We're going to take a quick break. You can see the tractors are in the ring. They're going to drag, get the footing set up, and there you can see our 7 qualified so far. Charlotte Jacobs of the USA, Nicola Philipparts from Belgium, Shane Sweetnam from Ireland, Kathleen Driscoll from the USA, Mario Delorier of Canada, Jimmy Turano, and Paul O'Shea. Rounding out those 7. We'll be back with you guys in just a minute for the second half of the $62,500 Hermes CSI 5-star Meter 50 Classic. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with you.
I remember the first time I came to Gulfstream, it was like this big fairy tale place.
Northern Dancer, winner of the Florida Derby.
All the history, you know, all these great horses, trainers, jockeys.
It is Barbaro to the final furlong. He is a neck and front. Barbaro wins!
It was everything that I ever dreamed of.
Sunday silence surges to the front.
First day, opening day of championship meet, I was kind of starstruck. You're watching LeBron James, and then next thing you know, you're playing basketball against him. That's how I felt when I'm riding with Donnie V, riding with Irad, Luis.
So many famous people come, Post Malone, Pharrell, J-Lo was there, it's epic.
The weather is beautiful, the facility is phenomenal.
It's all about Knicks Go. Knicks Go makes it 4 in a row.
It's one of the most beautiful tracks in the country, surrounded by some of the greatest horses and riders. It's amazing.
Welcome to Carlswood, the home of Irish Olympic medalist, coach and international horse producer, Kean O'Connor. At Carlswood, we pride ourselves on the belief that success is reward for effort. Set in County Meath, Carlswood is the home of Kean's industry-leading high-performance centre. The Carlswood system is based on a structured approach to daily routine and meticulous planning to help reach our goals. At Carlswood, Kean and the team work together to provide coaching, mentoring, advice on horse purchases and goal setting. We also facilitate students who wish to progress their show jumping skills while they study in universities in Ireland and across Europe. When it comes to developing your horse's fitness, scheduling and planning around competitions, no stone is left unturned. At Carlswood, we are committed to delivering quality, a place where our goal is the fulfilment of your ambition.
The greatest thing about our sport is not the ribbons, the trophies, nor the crowds. Each and every one of us found this sport because it gave us something we couldn't find before. What our sport gave us was a common love through horses. It forged a bond greater than petty differences and the sting of competition. It gave us community, it gave us love, and it gave us support through the good times and the bad. It gave us encouragement, and it gave us the strength to persevere through the toughest of times. The older we get, the more we realize the importance of one another and supporting one another. We cannot go forward without each other. Join us February 13th at Maida Farm for the 3rd annual Babington Benefit Classic, where you can make a difference in the great community we have built together. We are equestrian strong. We are the Kevin Babington Foundation. Learn more and register on our website, kevinbabingtonfoundation.org.
Doors lead us to places we've never been. Your dedicated Fidelity advisor can help you open those doors. They can help you create a retirement income plan designed to balance growth and guaranteed income, and provide access to specialists who help with estate planning to look out for future generations. So you're not just growing and protecting your wealth, you're sharing it. Because doors were meant to be opened.
I share my life with them. I think we're lucky that we get to do what we do, and I've never looked at it as a sacrifice.
For me, being on a horse is the one place I can truly be myself.
They do have a language. You just have to learn how to speak it.
Remember that they feed off of our energies, and so if you're in a good mood or you're happy, they'll reflect that back.
You meet people from all over the world. You have friends that share the same passion for horses, and I think that's something very special.
Horses is the only constant thing in my life, and it will always be there when I need it. For me, it's connection.
They make me who I am.
It's very hard to explain. It's magical.
It's just who we are.
In one word, it's freedom.
For me, it's everything.
The round is being produced by Paul O'Shea, Shane Sweeten, Timmy Toronto, Kathleen Driscoll, Charlotte Jacobs was our opener, Mary Gloria and Nicola.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to the $62,500 Hermes CSI 5-star meter 50 Classic. 7 clear so far, and we're moving on to this second half. Of course, I've got the one and only Dara Kenny here with me in the box. Thanks for being Thanks for being here, Dara.
No problem.
All right, we're taking a look at USA's 26-year-old Kelly Cruciati Vanderveen, and she is sitting on Mochito Vidi Misagan, the Serenity Farm Show Stables LLC entry of the 12-year-old Belgian-bred gelding by Emerald with the Lord Zed mother. All right, she will get us started for this second half. Again, 7 clear so far. How many more do you think we're going to see in this second half?
I would say probably another 6 or 7 again clear. Like, I think, you know, the standard of horses this winter has been incredible, and you know, there's good money out of this class. A lot of people with good horses this week, and I think everybody's pretty motivated. So I think you'll probably see another 6 or 7 clears again.
Yep, I think about the same. Sometimes even in the second half, you'll see even more, like a little bit more than the first half. Although I will say this whole week, it hasn't been that way. We've seen sometimes a little bit more in the first half and less in the second half. Funny how that can be sometimes.
Yeah, like normally you would imagine that people, you know, they watch the class, they watch the course, they figure out exactly how everything rides, and they make a plan based on that. But actually somehow with this guy, he does such a good job that, you know, you can ride it exactly like when you walk the course, you make the plan, and it's the same plan for everybody. But somehow the jumps fall down.
Yeah, exactly. And especially I think with a course where the jumps are falling all over the place, it's hard to make such a plan. You know, it's one thing when you see one line is a little bit tricky, and then you can watch it a bunch and say, okay, for my horse, I should do it like this.
Yeah.
But where the jumps are coming, like in a course like this, where they're coming down everywhere, hard to know where your trouble spots are going to be.
Yeah, exactly.
She'll finish up time 78.03, 16 jumping 4 on the clock for Kelly Cruciati Vanderveen, getting this second half started. And we're going to take a look at our next one on the list, and that is going to be the UK's Tim Gredley, representing his home nation of Great Britain, 38-year-old rider. Tim is sitting on Imperial HBF, 11-year-old gelding by Glasgow with the original VDL mother.
This is actually a horse that I've watched a little bit now, this circuit, and I really, really like it. I think it's a really special horse. Tim bought it in Scotland. It hadn't done so much before. It was a little bit greener, and he's just kind of stepped it up here to this level, but I think it's a really special horse.
Yeah, I think the Medoc one, he has also such a super animal. He has a couple of really, really good ones at the moment.
He does this, you know, just for the fun of it, you know, and he's actually a very, very, very good rider for somebody that doesn't spend a lot of time riding.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. For someone who doesn't really look at it as their primary career,
Yeah.
he rides like a professional.
He does.
Like some real top professionals. Maybe just turned a little early there and got a little bit deep. Maybe the horse looked at it a little.
Yeah, he's getting a little bit green on him right now. You know, he's kind of hanging up a little bit, and he kind of stuck turning the corner to that wall, and then got a bit deep, and the horse got a little bit of a fright. So I think Tim is going to call it a day for today.
Yeah. So he will retire within our round, and we will move on to our next one. Funny, normally the first or second after the break tend to be clear, and really good rounds in the first two after this break have not had the best go of it.
Yeah, exactly.
But we're going to take a look at someone who already jumped a clear round. USA's Kathleen Driscoll And this time she is sitting on Mochito Vidi. Oh, no, sorry. She's sitting on Hidalgo.
Yeah, Kathleen rides for Katie and Henri Prudhomme. And I must say, she has an incredible story. Like, she started off grooming for them and worked her way up from the very, very bottom. She's an incredibly hard worker. She's a super, super talent. She's unbelievably fast.
Yeah, she is. She's an unbelievable rider.
Yeah, and this horse I actually know quite well. It was with an Irish guy up in Ocala. The horse had jumped some very good rounds. Kathleen took it over, I think, like last November. And she seems to be getting to know it pretty well so far.
Yeah. Again, just an 11-year-old gelding. So that 10, 11-year-old year is sort of right when they can step up to this level, and it should really be coming into their prime.
Yeah, like it's funny. You can even see like Tim's horse, 10 years old. This horse, 11. Like they're
still a little bit
green. You know.
Yeah.
Like that it kind of worked in my favor last night. You know, my horse is 14. You know, he has plenty of experience, and you see it. You know, people think, oh, you know, 8, 9, they can jump 150 and they can do this and do that. I find the horses, you know, they really only come into their own when they're 12, 13, 14. You know, that's when they're really able to peak in Grand Prix.
Absolutely. I've been following a lot of the statistics of the horses over the last period. And it's really interesting to see, actually, that when you see a horse as a 10-year-old that has a lot of success, whatever level it's jumping, that tends to be a really good signifier of if it's going to be a top 160 horse later on.
Yeah.
So I think that they need to have all the pieces by the time they're around 10 or so, but that doesn't mean that they need to be peaking at the meter 60 level at that stage. She'll finish up time 73.64 and 12 faults for Kathleen Driscoll and Hidalgo. But I think, like you said, they don't really need to peak at the high level. I think if you look at championships and the Olympics and things like that, horses are much older, actually. You see a lot of 15 and 16-year-olds jumping that level.
Yeah, like even if you take the last Olympics, you know, okay, Explosion was 10 years old, which was, you know, an incredible win for him, and he was an unbelievable horse. But the next two were Beauville and All In, which were, you know, 14-year-old horses or 13-year-old horses at that stage. And I think when you're going to championships nowadays, especially with this new 3-rider rule, you need experienced horses that are reliable. You know, you don't want to be going with something you don't know, you know?
Yeah, something you don't know and something that is green. Like the whole thing we were just talking about, how the courses these days are so delicate and the material used is very unique. And I think the horses need to have seen a lot of different things already before they go to something like that. You don't want something that's going to see a jump that it hasn't seen before and be nervous about it. You want it to think, okay, I've seen a lot of new jumps.
Exactly.
We're taking a look at Mexico's Carlos Hank Guerrero and H5 Ganashiro Z.
This actually, this horse was produced in Ireland. I tried to buy it as a 4-year-old.
I think so did everybody.
It looked incredible. And it's funny how, you know, horses turn out in the end. You know, this is going to be a really special horse in the future. He's still a bit green at this height. But, you know, from a 4-year-old, everybody could see that the horse was really special, and he just keeps getting better and better. He's still green. You know, Carlos is getting used to him jumping this height, but the horse is fantastic.
Yeah, for sure. I think this is the first season he's really jumping consistently at this level. He had a really good round the other day. I think he either just had a time fault or maybe the last jump down. It was something, but it was a really solid round. Like you said, I think just learning this level and them together.
But even there, just two small mistakes, you know. But the horse jumped it so easy and so conventional, and he's such a
nice
very
rideable. Yeah, has all the pieces for sure. So 73.77 was his time with the 8 faults. So we're gonna move on to USA's Lily Keenan in the Chansonet Farm LLC entry, Chili Pepper HMZ. 9-year-old Zangerside Stallion by Cornetto Belinsky with the Caratano Z mother. Did you ever have a chance to ride this one?
I did, actually. I rode this horse as a 7-year-old in Dinard. I jumped it in the 7-year-old young horse classes. Very, very talented horse. A little bit green still, but really, really special horse. Like, it's jumped some really good classes with Lily. Little bit green like that, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes you think, okay, you have to get going a little bit to get the motor going, and then he can be a bit green sometimes. But I think for Lily's future, I think it's going to be a really special horse.
Yeah, I think this tremendously scopy horse. I've seen it jump some of these classes, and you think, wow, it can really jump.
Yeah. Lily's a super rider, obviously. You know, there's some really, really, which is impressive. There's some really good girl riders coming out of America now that are stepping up, and they're really doing it as good as any of the Europeans or anything like that. And I think Lily's one of the best that there is in America at the moment, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, you're helping Mimi Gotchman at the moment,
Yeah.
and then you see Zaina Rizvi. I mean, some of the young generation of female riders is just so strong out of the U.S.
Yeah, it's becoming better and better when you see like Lily, Jessie, you know, Mimi, Zaina. You know, they're really, really good girls that work hard, that are dedicated to the sport, and they really put in a lot of effort. And it's a great thing for our sport to see that as well, you know.
Absolutely. She'll finish up 8 faults, 74.85, just under that time allowed for Lily and Chili Pepper. No, but it's nice to hear, actually, a male rider talk so nicely about women. How nice that is. It's one thing if I say it, but I'm a little biased.
No, it's a great thing for our sport, and I think it's...
Well, that's one of the unique things about our
Yeah.
sport, how awesome it is that men and women can compete equally against each other.
And there, you know, when you get the girls that get to this level, they've had to fight hard to get here, so they're real fighters. You know, they know how to win, they know how to be competitive. You know, like even after Mimi's round last night, you know, she was more annoyed at herself than anything. You know, and I said to her today that's what makes somebody great.
Yeah.
If you can be mad at yourself and blame yourself, don't worry about your horses. Your horses are always great, you know. Push yourself to be better. You're going to be one of the best, you know.
Absolutely, totally. It's very, very, very rarely ever the horse's fault.
Exactly.
It is 99.9% of the time ours.
Exactly.
We get in their way, that's for sure.
Exactly.
All right, we're looking at Belgium's Zoe Conter and Tombola Zed. 10-year-old mare by Toulon with the Dominard mother, owned by the Stefex stables.
Zoe also a really, really talented girl rider. You know, she does a great job. Her dad has a very big business with horses, and she's had to grow up in that school the whole time, and she rides great. She does a really good job. She has some very good horses underneath her, and she's very dedicated to this.
What do you think happened there at that skinny ox there?
Yeah, just a little bit. He built that in the perfect place. You know, you jump the plank, the horses land on their head a little bit, they run around on their head, and you end up a little bit deep, or you end up getting there pulling.
Yeah,
you know, and you just don't get a comfortable distance, and then the horses don't really jump it that well.
I was standing at the in-gate before the course walk, and I was thinking, ooh, what an ugly jump.
Yeah.
Skinny rails, oxer, those little bushes on the
Yeah.
bottom. Not a nice placement and by itself. She'll finish up 8 faults, 2 on the clock, 10 total, 76.54 for Zoe Conter and Tombola Zed. Yeah, it's not such a nice jump.
No, it's if you really like delve into it, you know, he really knows exactly what he's doing with every single jump and where he puts it and the colors he uses and the fillers he uses. Like, you know, last night he built the wall down to that double, which was Oxer with the Liverpool underneath. And you know, it looked like such a normal jump, you know.
Yeah.
And it was so difficult to jump. The colors he used in the last line were so bland, and at the end of the course, that's so hard for horses.
Oof. And they very hard because they don't differentiate between the ground, I think. And the pink oxer that everyone had down, that had that little plank at the bottom, they kind of look, that's the one thing they can actually differentiate, and they look down at that and not at the top pole.
Yeah.
All right, we're looking at Emily Conter of Belgium, an Ocean Quality 10-year-old mare by Baltic with the Colando mother, also owned by the Stefex stables.
I think this horse was clear in the 150 2 weeks ago with Emily. Jumped very, very good as well. Emily, obviously, is Zoe's sister. both of them ride really well.
Oh, jumped that good, really hind end, really kind of extra thought.
She might have watched her sister and thought, okay, I'm going to do this differently.
I got to do it a little differently for it to work.
Yeah, that was
Maybe
a pity.
just getting there a little bit early.
Yeah.
You know, I walked that, and a lot of people were saying maybe out 9. And it's been mostly 8 there, but makes it easy when you have to move in a little bit, stay on the inside track to get there a tiny bit early.
Yeah, you know, like you're running downhill a little bit there. So even if you're doing the 8, you got to really get it done in a way that you're holding on at the end, not that you're going forward, because then they just jump into it a little bit.
Exactly. She'll finish up 73.39 with that down. All right. We will take a look at Adrian Sternlicht and Clemens 72, the Starlight Farms 1 LLC entry of the 10-year-old gelding by Choco Blue with the Canthargos mother. This is an exceptional jumper, huh?
This is a really exceptional jumper.
Bit in his own style, but wow, can it throw in an unbelievable jump. Actually, the 2 horses she had, the one she jumped last night, also an incredibly powerful, scopy jumper.
Yeah, I think Bertram Allen found a lot of these horses for her. Definitely the one she jumped last night. I think this horse also. She has a really special group of horses again now at the moment. You know, she obviously had Crystalline, who was amazing, and she, you know, won a gold medal at the World Championships and everything. And then she had to kind of take a step back and rebuild and reorganize, as we all do in this sport. And she seems to have done that very well. And now she has an incredible group of horses again. You know, the horse last night, he jumps an amazing amount of clear rounds.
Yeah.
This horse obviously a little bit greener, but very, very special jumper.
Yeah, you can see really jumps in such a unique shape, really gets high in the air, takes a beautiful photo.
Yeah, exactly. Good pictures.
Yeah.
Very important.
Yeah. Big stride there. You can see she really had to steady up for the 5.
That was well ridden.
Yeah. She does a good job. This horse looks like it wants a little bit of space and time on the takeoff to get those front legs out of the way, and I think she does a good job of placing it where it needs to be to want to jump the jumps well.
Yeah, you know, like Adrian is obviously a very, very good rider, very, very competitive. This horse, she's doing a really good job of it today because she's trying to make it quick without making it quick off the ground.
Exactly. That's a great differentiation. So she will make it within the time allowed, 74.82, and clear for Adrian Sternlicht and Clemens. So super round there. That will bring our count up to 8 on our jump-off list. So looking like it's a nice number in our deciding round. And Adrian did a great job with that round. All right, we're going to move on to McLean Ward and his own entry in Susan Heller's La Serra. 10-year-old Holsteiner mare by Casal with the Lacros mother. McLean is currently ranked 8th in the world. And it was interesting last night. A lot of the top riders we've saw, okay, you obviously were the big winner, but, you know, we saw McLean and Ben and Richie Vogel and a couple of the ones that I think a lot of people thought might go clear. One, they went early in the class last night, which was not what we normally see. We normally see them kind of later down in the list. And then everyone had that same oxer down.
Yeah, you know, I think the qualification for the Grand Prix is a little bit different now, you know, and it's, oh, Jesus. And it's leaving it a little bit harder. And then some riders end up going early. I think Richie Vogel's horse jumped an incredible round last night.
Yeah.
It was, you know,
unfortunate to have
an
that.
Unfortunate mistake that you would never see Richie make, you know, and I think McLean's horse also contagious. He jumped a brilliant round. McLean is obviously a fantastic rider, and you know, a little touch there, and they just weren't jumping that oxer that well. Those poles, they weren't jumping that well, and then it ended up being a different class in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. There, it looked like maybe from the wall the horse was just a little bit backed off the first time McLean came through this double. But gets him through and back on track now. Gets her through.
Yeah, this is a new horse for McLean. I think he only took it over this winter. It's a very, very good jumper, very competitive horse, and I think they're just getting to know each other, you know.
Yeah. Beautiful jump it can throw. We'll get over the last. Nice opens up behind there. 12 faults in the end, 14 on the clock. 88.07 is the time for McLean and La Serra. So they're just getting to know each other. And we will move on to USA's Kristen Vanderveen. Kristen Vanderveen is on the Bull Run Jumpers Incorporated Bull Runs has said 10-year-old gelding by Christian 25 with the Lord said mother. And actually, I saw this horse jump in the fall, and it was a really, really good horse. She had a great result. I think she might have won a meter 50, or she won a class on it, and it's a newer one for her. And I always say I think it's a little bit of a different style than I'm used to watching her ride, right? It's a little bit of a different kind of horse.
Yeah, it looks like a lovely type, really blood, really nice light type horse. I watched it go earlier on in the week. It jumped a very nice round, I think in the 145 maybe. And Kristen always has good horses. Some of them normally are a little bit bigger and slower, but this looks like a really good type.
Yeah. I think she does a great job producing the horses, and she finds them all herself and then develops them all. She always has something to jump in the high level.
Yeah, she she's a great producer of horses. She's doing a very good job all the time with the horses. She spends a lot of time with them, and this looks like it's going to be a good horse for the future.
Yeah. Did have the plank down behind. Again, it's another one of those kind of dull color into the corner. A little bit on the steady 5. Good job there to kind of steady up and get that done.
Looks like a lovely horse for
Absolutely.
the future.
I think just tonight, one down, but really solid round. Exciting one for her coming up. 73.76 is the time for faults for Kristen Vanderveen, and Bull Runs has said. All right, we're making our way down this list, and we're going to take a look at the next one. It's going to be Eduardo Pereira de Menezes' second entry from Brazil, his own Calypso de Matisse. And it's a 12-year-old Cell Francais gelding by Paddock du Plessis and the Tresor Mother. Sounding like very French breeding. Actually, I don't know Paddock du Plessis. You know that horse?
No, I don't actually. I was just thinking about that.
Yeah, I was thinking I don't really know that still. I'll have to look it up.
This horse has a lot of good results. 145, 150, wins a lot.
I think he was third in the WEF a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Really good.
Eduardo, very competitive, and this horse should jump a good round today.
Very kind of flat gallop, but it seems, like you said, very competitive. Oh, I think it had a brick off the wall.
Yeah, it did. Looks like it has no shoes on as well.
Yeah, I think that's probably why the gallop looks so flat.
Yeah.
And I heard the most fascinating thing, I was talking to Richie Vogel, and we were talking about United Touch not having shoes on.
Yeah.
And, we were talking about what are the reasons, why would you pull a shoe off? Why would you pull shoes off? What would be the reason? And Richie was saying normally the risk of pulling shoes is that you can shorten the horse's stride. And Richie said that's why I did it.
Yeah.
Because United Touch has such a huge stride, he actually pulled the shoes in order to shorten the stride.
Yeah.
It was such a fascinating, unexpected thing to hear.
Seems to be working anyways.
Yeah, exactly. Clearly working. Horse just struggling a little bit through the triple. Gets a little quick at the last. We'll pick up 4 down, 16 faults, 73.78 for Calypso and Eduardo Meneses.
A little bit the same as last night and the same as the WEF. The end of the courses with this guy, they're taking a lot of jumping, you know. The horses get tired by the end of the courses, and they get a little bit low, and he has the jumps in delicate places, and it's taking a lot of jumping.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw that a lot. Also, even just in the 150 speed the other day, it was a long enough course for a speed class, and like that last line with the double verticals, same kind of thing. Like the horses just not able to sort of take their time at the end, just getting a little flat, a little bit quick,
Yeah.
and a little low. And you're seeing that again today.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, now we're going to see Canada's Aaron Ballard and Game Over. 13-year-old gelding by Ukado with the Lord Colando mother, owned by Elon Ferder. Aaron, I think, was clear on this horse the other day. Actually, I think she was really good. Wow, what an effort there.
Yeah.
It was big reach stretch coming in.
Yeah, jumped clear in the 150. She was like third or fourth on it the other day. It seems to be a very competitive horse.
Yeah, absolutely. And Aaron is always so competitive.
Yeah, Elon and Aaron, they've a great team made together there, and they're doing a brilliant job. They always have really good horses and really competitive, and Aaron's a super strong rider, and she does a really, really good job.
Yeah, she does. One of the best, actually, I think, out there. I think this one is actually a little bit of a newer ride for her, no?
Yeah, she's had it about a year, I think now, or like 8 months.
Yeah.
She had it in Spruce in the summer. It jumped good there. Just didn't really push there at B, you know. It kind of jumped in. I thought she was actually trying to be very smart. She like went quick early in the course and then took her time to the triple to jump it good, but he didn't really push well enough at B.
Yeah. Time 73.29. 4 faults for Aaron and Game Over. So game over for them today. We're going to take a look at Israel's Ashley Bond and Elka de la Palme. Ashley's ranked 51st in the world at the moment. And she's sitting on the 10-year-old mare by Cartoon with the Cannon mother. Also owned by Elon Ferder. Elon's owned a lot of horses, actually, in this class. The first 2 were owned by him, and now these 2. And again, this horse, Ashley, has had for a while, been developing it, and she's just stepping up to this higher level now with it.
Yeah, she's taken her time with the horse. She jumped a lot of 140s and 145s last year on it. It looks like a really special horse, very, very careful.
Yeah.
And it seems to be stepping up well this year.
Absolutely. Good ride there. I thought she really kept the energy up at the end.
It's funny that they're all not jumping the wall so well.
Yeah, I had a feeling though. The wall's like solid on the top, but then it's kind of hollow on the 2 sides below, and it's off that kind of rollback turn. I think they don't see it, and I mean there was trouble at the wall last night in the Grand Prix as well.
Yeah,
and they're early on in the course.
That's it's so early that's what surprises me, that he puts the wall so early in the course.
It's another thing that I think he does that's sort of different than a lot of other people.
Yeah. Ashley giving this a super ride.
Yeah. Looking really solid. Ooh. Sort of a short turn, then does one more out of the corner there in. Oh, too bad. Maybe just ended a little bit sort of dead at A and then had to push a little bit at B and just not able to get across that back pole.
Yeah, exactly.
4 faults, 72.73 for Ashley Bond and Elka de la Palme. So, super solid round. Again, I think she won't be too disappointed with that as she's just developing that one up to this higher level. All right, and here's a man who's had another really solid week. Egypt's Nile Nassar and Igor van de Wittemore. This is his mount from the Tokyo Olympics. 16-year-old gelding by Cooper van de Heffink with the Orlando mother, owned by the Evergate Stables, LLC, and Nile himself. He had a super round in the qualifier the other day. I think he was double clear. It was the horse jumped great.
Yeah, he rode Jimmy Cricket. He jumped very, very good. Niall is a super rider. He's very competitive. He's really detailed in his riding. He does a really, really good job.
Yeah. like you said, super competitive. He's won tons of classes. Let's see what he can do on Igor today. And this is not such a big horse, but a lot of blood. And he does a good job with it. I think if I see it, it doesn't look like necessarily the easiest thing to ride.
No, I think he does an incredible job on it. I don't think it's so simple. It's very, very blood. It has its own style, its own way of going. I think Niall does a really good job on those type of horses that are very blood. You know, he really, really can get them to relax and stay up in the air, you know.
Yeah, yeah, because sometimes with that kind of blood, the horses can just get a little bit quick through the air.
Yeah.
And Niall does a good job to kind of help slow the naturally fast jump down.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, we want the blood and we want the forward jump.
Yeah.
But it's our job as riders to make sure we try to keep it in the air. Just having the front pole of that oxer coming in. Same kind of thing, I think, actually. What we were saying,
exactly.
jump a little bit quick.
Yeah. It's funny how he did that. It was basically the same thing as last night. You know, you turn the corner, wall, little bit bending left line to a oxer vertical double, and it just seems to ride really tough for some reason. But he seems to like building it anyway.
Yeah, I have a feeling we might see that in Paris.
Exactly.
But I think a little bit because the wall, they jump up high, and he sets the distance just a hair long.
Yeah.
And then they're kind of landing shallow, and you feel like you got to really move up. But then when you do that, you get a little bit quick, and the jump gets a little bit low and flat.
Yeah, you're either pushing in, and then you have going in, or they jump in too quick, and then you have
then
B.
B. Exactly. He'll finish up 8 faults, 72.31 for Niall, going into 23rd place at the moment. Yeah, exactly. Like you said, you either end up pushing too much a day, or you end up too quick, and then you don't have the balance at B. All right, and here's the man who won our meter 50 speed class on Friday. And, of course, it is Rupert Karl Winkelmann, the German rider. And today he's sitting on Duvari, 11-year-old gelding by Diamante Semele with the Demuro mother, owned by the Eichendorff Horses GmbH & Co. Rupert had a super speed round on his Chestnut Quinn 33 the other day to win our speed. And I think actually I was talking to Sean Crooks, who's helping him a little bit. And I think last night might have been one of his first big 5-star Grand Prix.
Yeah, it was. I think it definitely his first 5-star Grand Prix here. He's actually had a great week. You know, all his horses have been great. The chestnut horse he won with on Friday was fantastic. Sean is doing a really, really good job with him. The results seem to have improved a lot quite quickly.
Yeah.
And the horses are just getting a bit more solid, and Rupert rides good, and he has lovely horses, so it seems to be getting better and better.
Oh. He's such a good guy. I don't know if you know him well, but he's a really awesome guy, too.
He's such a nice person.
Yeah, amazing.
Such a nice person. I got to know him a little bit last year when we did those Mexico shows and stuff like that, but he's just a really, really good guy.
Absolutely. I like hanging out with him. He's a nice one. Just maybe turned a little bit early. Had a hard rub at B as well, but that one actually stayed up.
Yeah, I think like a lot of this at the moment for Rupert is experience with these horses and getting them up to a higher level and getting to know them at this level and trying to figure out how to jump clear rounds.
Yeah, 73.35 and with the 3 down for Rupert and Duvari. So we're still sitting just on the 8 clear. And we've got about 10 left to go in this first round. And the first of those is going to be Great Britain's reigning Olympic champion, Ben Maher. Ranked 2nd in the world at the moment, and Ben is sitting on Point Break. It's the Pamela Wright, Charlotte Rosetter, and Ben Maher entry of the 10-year-old Swedish-bred stallion by Action Breaker with the Balu Durouet mother. Actually, I haven't watched this horse so much with Ben. Have you seen this one a lot?
Yeah, I think he was maybe 2nd in London in the Global on it. It's green still, but it looks like a very special horse.
Yeah. He has a bunch of really amazing string of horses at the moment.
I think Ben
so many meter 60 horses.
Ben is going to be your next #1 in the world, in my opinion. You know, he's a fantastic rider. He's so strong. He's so correct. His style is so good, and he has a fantastic owner now at the moment with the Mars family, and they're doing a brilliant job for him, and they're getting great horses, and he's going to win a lot in the next few years.
Yeah, I think so too. And we were talking with Shane Sweetenham last night, and he said the same thing. He thought come the spring, Ben was going to be #1 in the world.
Yeah, he is probably the best group of horses of any rider at the moment, and Ben is one of the best.
Yeah, he really is. Spectacular rider. It's always a pleasure to watch him. Everything is so correct. He's good. He does a good job making it look easy. Like he just did.
I was just thinking that, like, you don't even have to commentate when you watch him jump around. He just makes everything look so simple. You know.
If you have a question, just watch Ben.
Exactly.
He'll show you how to do it.
He just does such a great job.
Exactly. So he'll give us another clear 72.94. And that will bring our count up to 9. It had been a while since we saw clear, but leave it to Ben Mayer to give us another one. So 9 clear at this stage with about 9 left to jump. And USA's Laura Kraut is going to be next. She's sitting on the Bart DeHaze entry, Picobello VH Panasoff.
We've actually got way less clears in this second half.
Yeah, I'm telling you, all week it's been like that. Normally you see more clear in the second half, and now I think we've only seen 2 in the second half. And we saw 7 in the first. Crazy. This horse is a 9-year-old Belgian-bred gelding by Vigo.
This is a new horse for Laura. She only has it this year, but it looks like a very interesting horse.
Yeah, I haven't actually watched this one so much yet. But Laura does such a great job riding so many different horses.
Yeah, she's probably one of the best lady riders that there's ever been. You know,
Yeah.
she's strong, she's competitive, she's determined. She can ride any different type of horse. It's incredible the different type of horses she rides and how well she does with them.
Absolutely. Looked like coming into the double, the horse just kind of kicked out a little bit behind as he came down. Just had the back pole of the oxer coming in.
Yeah, a little bit green, I think, still, and just held himself off the front and didn't really get across the back, but I think that's green mistakes.
Exactly. Just 9 years of age. And like we said, this is a solid 150 class. I mean, this is as big as any 3-star Grand Prix you'd see anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Gets over the last and just over that time allowed, so she'll pick up 1 on the clock, 4 on the course. Total of 5 times 75.72 for Laura Kraut and Picobello. And you were saying you're taking next week off, huh? A little bit of a break. You earned your break after last night, so
at least
you'll
I
have a
can
quiet week.
Justify it now.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, stay tuned. We'll see lots of hunters next week out here in the international ring for the Hunter Spectacular Week. And the jumpers will move over to the stadium at the Global Pavilion. All right, we're taking a look at 18-year-old Caroline Mawhinney. Young rider for the USA, and she is sitting on Carsey Z, owned and ridden by Caroline herself. 11-year-old gelding by Cartino Zed with the Guidon mother.
It's funny always here, you know, in WEF, because it's so early on in the year, you always see new partnerships, you know, starting out and growing, and this is obviously a new horse for Caroline. She got it in the last year, but you always get that here where you see a lot of new partnerships.
I think also sometimes because, you know, the horses, as they get 1 year older here, when they turn sort of 9, a lot of horses that have been sort of showing in the secondary rings around WEF, you know, in the years past, and they were young horses and this and that. You didn't see them in the Denemethy or the Magavra or all the other rings, and now all of a sudden they're starting to jump these international classes, and then they really start to step up a level.
Yeah, exactly. They start to step up and start to have to jump some bigger classes, and you really figure out what they are.
Yeah, exactly. Just a little bit of shift left right there going to that Liverpool Oxer, but she did a good job to kind of recorrect it. And then maybe just a little bit quick jumping out of that triple.
Yeah, just got a bit quick at the end of the course, got a little bit strong for her and got a bit quick. But I think it's
Nice
going to
horse,
be a very, very good partnership.
Yeah, I really like that horse. She'll finish up 8 faults, 74.61. Looks like a lot of blood, nice balance, very sporty kind of horse to see.
Okie dokie.
Now we're going to take a look at Jimmy's second mount of the class. Jimmy Toronto is sitting on Chewbacca HCC, 12-year-old gelding by Clarimo with the Quintero mother, owned by Isalu Incorporated and the Jet Show Stable. This has been a really good horse for Jimmy in the last couple of years.
Yeah, it's jumped some great rounds. He brought it out to California last year, jumped really good out there. It's a very, very scopy jumper, and Jimmy obviously does a very good job with it.
Yeah.
I think he fiddled around with bits this week on this horse, and this actually was the old bit that he had in it, and it seems to be the best. The horse seems to stay more level on it and seems to jump
it's jumping
very
really
well at it. Yeah.
Funny how that is sometimes, that you have a bit and then you think to change it, and then you try 20 other different things, and then all of a sudden you're like, I'm going to go back to this one. But you wonder, is it that it just, you should have stuck to the old one, or is it because you changed all those bits, maybe you got the rideability better over time, that now when you go back to the old bit it works better now? I mean, what do you think about that?
It's hard to tell, to be honest. I think we all make that mistake.
Yeah.
It's really difficult to tell, because I think sometimes we change because we want this a little bit better or that a little bit better, and then in the end, actually what we started off with was because our gut feeling was that was going to work, and it did work, and that's what the horse needed.
Yeah. Sometimes we think grass is greener on the other side, and it's not. Look at that. Does he? Yep. Oh, just a 0.04 of a second over that time allowed. He will pick up the one-time fault, but that was a beautiful round from Jimmy Toronto and Chewbacca. Like we said, that old bit working well because the horse jumped amazing. You can't be too disappointed with that round.
No, the horse jumped fantastic. That was a great round for the horse. He jumped really, really well, and it looks like Jimmy can go on. You know, I know he wanted to jump the 5-star Grand Prix last night, but it looks like the horse in the perfect place to do that the next few weeks.
Exactly. We'll have another 5-star coming up in 2 weeks' time back here at the main international ring. All right, now we're taking a look at Chloe Reed and Chelsea 179, the 9-year-old mare by Cador 5 with the Laudabilis mother, owned by Live Oak Plantation LLC.
This horse, I know it really well, actually, because it came from a very good friend of mine, Carl Hanley. He owned it together with Ludger Beerbaum, and Christian Cook rode it in Aachen as a young horse, and it always looked like a really special horse.
I actually asked about it myself a few years back. I loved it.
I think Chloe does a really great job on these type of horses. She buys a lot of little blood horses and
super careful ones.
Yeah, and she does such a super job on them.
She always takes her time developing them, and she's gotten so many different horses up to that -60 level by taking her time developing it. Always the hot little careful ones that really suit her. And this horse is lovely. Ooh, stumbles a little on the backside.
Yeah, she's smart. She knows what she likes to ride, and she buys what she likes to ride, and it seems to work very well for her. And then she takes her time with them, and they just get better and better.
Yeah, a little bit of a reach there, but this is looking super so far. And great jump at the last, but she will be a little bit pokey. A little slow. 2 on the clock, 76.91. She will pick up 2 time faults, but that was also another spectacular jumping round.
Yeah, it jumped really well and really easy. I know that it's only kind of just stepped up to this height this year and jumped a very, very easy round.
Yeah, exactly. You know, the horse is now considered 9, but it's just coming into when the horses were all born. So that means that they could even still be 8 at this stage of the year. So very young green horses coming up to this level, but that one handled it beautifully. All right, we're going to look at USA's Michaela Langmeyer, 23-year-old rider for the USA, and she's sitting on Pepita Vidi Rollebeek. 9-year-old Belgian-bred mare owned by Linda Langmeyer, by Otangelo. And let's see what Michaela can do. We've got, I think, 5 left after this one. Still sitting on just 9 clear. Actually ending up looking like a perfect amount of clear for this class. And just what you'd expect. Challenging, but just needing to ride a very precise, accurate round, but no particular place where the faults are all coming.
No, the guy, he hasn't got it wrong all week. You know, every class he's had the right number of clears. Like even the 150 speed class, I think there was only 10 clears in it.
That was a hard class.
He's got it right the whole week.
That was a shame. Kind of just a little light fault as it jumped across that ox arm. Gets over the last, but we'll pick up those 2 down in a row. 8 faults, 72.13 for Michaela Langmeyer and Pepita Vidi Rollebeek. So she had the Hermes oxer across the middle and then the front pole of the blue Liverpool oxer. So she'll pick up 2 down on that 9-year-old. And now we're going to take a look at our final 5 of this first round of the $62,500 Hermes CSI 5-star meter 50 Classic. We're going to see Lebanon's Jadana and the horse that he has won this class on before. After 8, 14-year-old mare by Diorado with the Cardento mother, owned by Spring Hill Farm 1850 LLC. This guy's a hell of a rider, huh?
Yeah, he's a great rider and he's a great competitor. Very, very competitive. Wins a lot of classes. Very fast in jump-offs. This is actually a lovely horse. It jumps a lot of clear rounds.
Yeah, I really like this horse. Really sporty. If he's in the jump-off, especially because he'd be late in it, he would be very quick.
Yes.
He'd be a scary one to have after you. A little bit quick here. Oh.
He actually set that line up really well for his horse. His horse doesn't have a huge stride, and he stayed out wide to the wall so he could have a good jump on the wall and get down the 6, so he was holding at the end. And then the horse gave a great jump at the double.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what we've been seeing. Those that are not able to be holding at the end, that are still kind of pushing at the end, that's where the trouble is coming.
Yeah.
He really created that kind of push and energy by boxing the stride at the end. A little bit far off that. Good effort on the horse's part to clear the back pole of the Liverpool. Oh, what a shame.
That's a pity. That would have been an exciting one to watch in the jump off.
Oh. Can see just wheels coming off a little bit at the end. He has A and B of the triple and a little bit far off the 4 to the back pole. He rode the rest of that course great, but unfortunately we'll pick up those 3 down right down the last line. And 71 and change was his time. So unfortunately not making it into our jump off. But now we're going to take a look at the wonderful young Zaina Rizvi, 18 years of age, representing her home nation of the USA, the Kung Fu group, Kung Fu. 9-year-old Dutch-bred gelding by Arezzo with the Tangelo mother.
This is actually, I think, John Brennan, who Missy Clark, who Zaina trains with, they actually bred this themselves.
Did they?
Yeah. John, a client of Missy's had the mother, and then John bred it, and they produced it, and then Zaina bought it about a year ago. It looks like a really special horse.
Amazing.
But they've produced it the whole way since a very young horse.
That's always such a nice story. As people who, I mean, my husband and I, we breed. We have like 600 horses. We breed a lot, but it's nice to hear people that are like sort of really deep in the sport, and they do a little bit of breeding on the side, and then you have one that you bring up to such a high level. That's such a rewarding and satisfying thing.
Yeah, I think it's cool for John. He has a big interest in the breeding and the young horses, and for him to have a horse that they've produced the whole way themselves is really exciting.
Yeah. And then to watch such a super young rider take it over and bring out good results, it's really nice.
Yeah, she's a really, really talented rider. She's, Missy and John do a great job with these girls, and this kid is just getting better and better the whole time.
Absolutely. And look at that. Another clear 73.78 and clear for Kung Fu and Zaina Rizvi. So that will bring us up to 10 with 3 remaining in this first round. So it's looking like it's going to shape up to be an awesomely exciting jump off.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be a very quick jump off.
Yeah, especially with 10 in it. That's sort of 10 or maybe even a couple more. It's actually, I think we might have 3 left on the list. It's a perfect number to be exciting, but not a whole nother class, basically. It's the exact number you'd be looking for. All right, let's take a look at USA's Jacob Pope and Highway FBH. The Highway Group entry of the 12-year-old Dutch-bred stallion by Plot Blue with the cornet mother. This has been such a great horse for Jacob.
Yeah, it actually came off Rupert.
Did it?
Yeah, came off Rupert Eckendorf horses. They had it as a younger horse, as an 8-year-old, and then Jacob bought it. It's been unbelievable for Jacob. It's had some really amazing results.
Oh, look at that
jumps
jump.
spectacular.
Yeah.
Really high, perfect technique. I think it's a really cool horse.
Yeah,
Jacob does a super job on it.
Beautiful jump there. You got right to the base of that holding, like we said. Oh, fires off the ground.
Good Instagram pictures.
Yes, absolutely. Ooh. A little bit close to the back
A
pole
little close there. Just got to be careful down here to this Liverpool.
Steadies up. Ooh.
Oh, good.
Good choice. Didn't get flat. Did the one extra stride. One left to go. Good jump. Good ride to the last. Oh, but picks up the one-time fault, 75.35. So 0.3 of a second over that time allowed. That will keep him out of the jump off, but that was a beautiful round from Jacob Pope and Highway FBH. So nice to see another super round out of them, but unfortunately they won't be making our jump off. I think time allowed was right on this today.
Yeah, he did a very good job with that. You have to be on it the whole way round. It's not crazy, but if you're pulling anywhere, you get caught.
Absolutely. All right. First of our remaining 2, of course, the one and only woman who was in our jump off last night of the 5-star Grand Prix, USA's 24-year-old Natalie Dean. She's ranked 83rd in the world at the moment, and today she's sitting on the Marigold Sport Horses LLC entry, Nespresso van Lakehoff. It's an 11-year-old Belgian-bred gelding by Cicero with the Grandeur mother. And she had a wonderful first round last night with a Kata. That is such a special horse. Such a small little horse, and it's amazing.
She probably made the first round look the easiest of anybody that jumped it, I thought, last night. It looked so smooth. The mare jumped absolutely incredible, and Natalie did a great job. She just stayed calm. She just rode her around, and horse jumped fantastic.
Yeah. It was nice to see her in there. We were talking about these up-and-coming female riders. She's another one.
She's really something for the future for America. You know, she's strong, she's competitive, she wants to win, she works hard at it, she's dedicated. I think she's a real asset to the American team for the future.
Absolutely. I think she's got a good string of horses, and she's now under the management of Ben Mayer, so I think she's put herself in a great position to have a really strong couple of years. Just having that front pole. Actually jumping really well.
Yeah, she has a lovely group of horses at the moment. Really careful, competitive horses. That was a little mistake and a little mistake again there, but she has a great group of horses and she's riding really well at the moment.
Exactly, and those were two minor little things. Looks like maybe she actually had 3 down, 12 faults, 74.81. I didn't see what else she had down actually. But 3 for Natalie. And now we're going to see our last one. It is one of the world's favorite horses. It is James Conn Cruz and Shane Sweetnam. Gizmo Partners LLC entry of the 11-year-old Irish bred by Cannon with the cruising mother. Shane ranked 12th in the world at the moment. And I was talking to Shane about this horse, and he said he's just going easy this week in the 5-star. He was a little bit fresh the other day. Said he feels really fresh and had a bit of a break after Geneva. And he's just kind of gearing him up, and he's going to aim for week 7 is what he said.
Yeah, like this horse is obviously one of the best horses in the world, I think, at the moment. I think he was the best 9-year-old, maybe, or the second best 9.
Best 10-year-old for sure.
He's an incredible horse. He's really special and a lot of blood, and Shane is just kind of getting him going again here now.
Exactly, like we said, took a little bit of a break after the big indoor season. And just gearing back up now. He's got a big year ahead of him. I think he's certainly hoping to make the team for Paris with this horse.
Yeah, like I can't imagine Shane not making the team. You know, like the horse, once he's sound and healthy, I think the horse is one of the best horses in the world, and Shane should be on the team for Paris with this horse.
We'll see after your performance last night. Perhaps you too.
Yeah, well, we can hope. Interesting, this is the first time I've actually seen him with, the second time I've seen him with hind boots on this horse. Normal hind boots. And the horse seems to have a better shape from it.
Yeah, it's a little bit more fluid, huh?
Yeah, the jump looks smoother. It looks more round. I think it looks better with it like this.
Absolutely.
Horse looks a little bit more tame today than
he looked a little fresh the other day.
Yeah.
I think he was just happy to be out. That was a beautiful round there for Shane. Look at that, just popping around. 72.58 is the time, and he is also clear, giving us our 11th. So that is 11 total for our meter 50. We are going to take a short break. They're going to reset for the jump off. Of course, we will go through our course as well as our qualified riders. And thanks again, of course, to Hermes. Since the company was founded in 1837, Hermes remains dedicated to making high-quality, handcrafted equestrian products for the horse, rider, and barn. Our workshops maintain a tradition of saddle making passed down from generation to generation of skilled artisans. With a strong commitment to innovation, Hermes integrates new materials and technology to develop high-performance technical apparel and equipment to meet the needs of the riders at the highest levels of equestrian sport. And thanks to Dodd Technologies presenting our live stream. Dodd Technologies is an industry leader in creative design and technology support services for sports, entertainment, corporate, and special events. Visit us online at doddtechnologies.com. Today's live stream is also presented in part with the support of the U.S. Equestrian Federation and the USEF Network. All right, we will be back with you guys in a minute. There you can see our jump-off qualifiers. 11 on the list. Charlotte Jacobs will get us started. Then Nicola Philipparts, Shane Sweetnam, Kathleen Driscoll, Mario Delorier, Jimmy Torano, Paul O'Shea, Adrian Sternlicht, Ben Mayer, Zayna Rizvi, and Shane Sweetnam again on his second mount. So it's looking like it's going to be a fabulous jump off, all strong combinations, many nations are represented. But we're going to take a quick break, and we will be back with you guys in just a minute. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned for the conclusion of the $62,500 Hermes Meter 50 Classic.
Classic sponsor here today, Hermes, proud to expand their support of the Winter Wrestling Festival through their Supper Series, the Year 50 Tour, and presence in the Ncha Wonderful Karate Lab. Because of their support, students are going to take you on the short track, jump off. Are you ready? Absolutely. So the second round, so course is Hermes 150 Classic, 1 versus 3. 40 by Gregory Vogel, teaming up with Rich Reynolds, so France and Germany. And we are starting with Fritz Tame this time, with the trend set now by the Conquerors. From there, it is Andre Fritz 50 is now, and that's the start of horses head to the water trade. And that now a vertical this time, so it was max of 11. And from there, it is what was the triple combination now. Derby back down to the green, white, and gold Randy at 12 KB. And from there, it is a cross move towards the international club at bet 3 after that. As we head to the European scene. Going back from there to 4, that's the war coming into play once again at bet 4. The last part of course now. And then on down we move to bet 16 as the lobsters with their effect to the future challenge. Running down by the gazebo as they go back towards the gate at bet 16. Then back to the right there this time to 1-1, so bet 1. Well, still bet 1, but it's the last of course. This time around, the last pressure effect at the last on the track. So 10, 15, 12, 18, 3, 4, 16, and 1. And ceases with 11 going to jump off. We'll start off with challenge engines. So Nicola and Sean. Then Spinner Philippines, Pandora. Shane Sweeter first and 2 finish with Calico the Plus. Captain Bristol with the fast running OReilly. Running the Rye in Canada and just with the S in Toronto for Shield Set. Paula Shane and his business agencies in Scotland, Aidan Stellings and Clement 72. Emma of Great Britain and Brain. And then final 2 is Taylor Risky in Calvary and final Shane Sweeter the second rise. This is top 1-2 in James Cruz. Giveaways Cruz into that jump off. 2 minutes away from our first of the family course, which is the devoted of Conor and Page Griffin and his football Christian matches to the circus here in the International World.
All right, welcome back everyone to the $62,500 Hermes CSI 5-star meter 50 Classic. We've got 11 clear. We'll see if anyone is maybe not going to jump off. We were debating if Shane will jump on the last one, but he's got 2 in there. And we saw a wonderful first round. Of course, I'm sitting here with Dara Kenny. What did you think of the course, Dara?
Again, I thought he did a really excellent job. He got a great amount of clears, you know, not too many. The course was delicate. You had to ride it really well. I think it's going to be a really competitive jump off.
I think so too. You want to talk everyone through that jump off round a little bit?
Yeah.
Do you remember it?
I don't actually.
I think it starts at the Hermes Oxer at what was 10?
Oh, yeah. So the Hermes to that, which now is a vertical, that Liverpool, which I think you're probably going to see most people do 7, maybe.
Me too, I think so as well.
Then spin back on your double.
Vertical Oxer.
Yeah.
Just AB, what was it, the triple?
Then you go over to, which one?
Number 3 at the yellow Oxer.
Yeah, spin back on the wall. And then down. I walked like...
9.5.
Yeah, I think like they'll get there easy in 9, you know. I think they'll get there easy in 9 to that.
I don't think there's an 8 though.
No, I think off the turn to the wall, I think it's going to be hard, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a new jump at I think it's 16 is that new one.
Yeah.
And we'll see what people do down to there, and then one
Gallop
more.
over to the first jump.
Exactly. So the Mars Equestrian will be the first, what was the first jump is now the last jump in our jump off. Again, 11 coming back for our deciding round. Thanks, of course, to this week's title sponsor here at Wellington for the 5-star, Fidelity Investments. And today's sponsor for their class, of course, is Hermes, sponsoring the Meter 50 Classic all season here. Since the company was founded in 1837, Hermes remains dedicated to making high-quality, handcrafted equestrian products for the horse rider and barn. And there you can see our first rider up. She had a beautiful first round on a horse that absolutely everyone loves. And it is going to be Charlotte Jacobs in the North Star entry, Ringola Milshawn. I don't know if you got to see her first round, but this jumped perfect round.
Immaculate. Actually, this could end the class before it even starts.
Exactly. She can be so fast on this horse. It's very nimble, a lot of blood. It jumps easy, and she can kind of turn on a dime. This is a really fast combination. Let's see what Charlotte can do. Time allowed of this second round, 58 seconds. Of course, that shouldn't come into play too much, but let's see what she does. She's coming off the right, I believe. She's up at the top of the ring now, making a little circle, checking on her brakes, making sure those work.
This horse, it's Irish bred, you know, so we've all kind of known it for years, and it's just grown and grown and grown every year. It's got more scopy and more rangy, and I think Charlotte does a really, really good job with the horse. She really suits it, and together they're a brilliant team. She's jumped some 5-star Grand Prix on it. It's done amazing. She's a very, very talented rider, and I think this will be quick.
Absolutely. She comes off the left. She does the 8.
Yeah. I don't think he has a massive stride, but he's the type of horse, he's so quick doing 8 that he's probably quicker than some horses doing 7.
Absolutely. You know? She does a good job here, kind of a little bit right to left, so she's already kind of turning back on this wall.
Yeah.
Good shot there.
9.
Like you said, exactly. 9, kind of balancing up at the end. Yeah. And she's running to the last, takes the big one, clears it. So that will be our time to beat. 39.55 is getting us started. 39.55 on the clear for Charlotte Jacobs and Ringola Milshawn. She looks happy with that. And like you said, now they got to come chase her. Is the class over already?
Yeah, it's naturally a very, very quick horse. She did a very, very good round. I think she left the door open a little bit.
I do too. I think she was quick, but maybe she was a little bit cautious back on that double. She was a little cautious down to 3. She was pretty quick across the middle, and to the last she was good, but we'll see if someone can catch her. All right, next up is going to be Belgium's Nicola Philipparts, ranked 27th in the world. He's sitting on Pandora, Vandakova. Team Philipparts entry, and we know he can be a super fast rider. Let's see what he can do on Pandora.
Weirdly enough, if it was me, I would
come off the right.
Yeah,
me too. I was thinking the same thing. It's awkward with the gazebo. I feel like you can't get such a good shot at it.
Yeah, and then you end up having to do the 8, really. Like
yeah, because you're already the wrong angle.
Yeah, that was tight.
Yeah, that was really good. And slicing across left to right through the double. Oh, he's moving here.
He's inside her tracks there.
Yeah, and he didn't pull on the reins at all. That was quick.
This is slick round so far.
Also does the 9. Looks wider than her here, though.
Yeah, could have been a little bit faster to the last one, maybe.
But he will catch her, 39.03. That'll be our new time to beat, 39.03 on the double clear for Nicola Philipparts and into the lead. But like we were saying, to number 1, I always think that when you need to turn, I want to come off the lead that I'm turning in, like on a line like that. I don't want to be swapping and...
That's what I was always taught was, you know, if you're trying to angle it, come off the lead so they don't have to change leads off the ground.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. I always would come off the right And also, I mean, maybe you don't get the best running start, but it's enough space. I'm looking at the ring. It looks like there should be enough space to do that.
Yeah, I think like actually you have a way better. You can come between
Like a
the
sweeping,
double and gallop a little bit, but we seem to be the only ones that think that.
Again, we're not out there riding, but I don't know. All right, let's see what Shane Sweetenham and Irondell Du Float can do the Seabrook LLC entry. He's coming off the left as well, but this horse has been super fast. Won the meter 50 last week. Steady up in the 8.
Yeah.
I mean, the 7 is there.
Yeah.
Especially on a big mover. I mean, it's hard when you got to make that turn back, but good jump here.
Shane was very good last week in the jump off of the 150. This horse is obviously quite a quick horse.
Absolutely. He kept moving there. That was pretty good.
Oh.
He had to keep moving there in the 9.
Yeah.
But he's got to run to the last if he wants to catch. 39.03 is the time. And he's going to get him. 38.26. We're getting faster.
That's going to be hard to beat, I think.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
38.26. Again, the horse that doesn't waste any time in the air. Very quick across the ground. Maybe not the biggest stride, but he just wastes no time. And Shane was very slick and very quick about everything. So,
and
new time to beat.
It nearly helped him, you know, in the 9 that she didn't have as big a strides because
He could keep moving.
going, you know. Some people will have to slow down in 9. He was able to keep running.
Exactly. I think that's always such an important thing is that you want to, if the line is long, you want to get there where you're still moving so that you're never really slowing the pace down because it's that change in pace, right? It's like when you have to slow down and then re-go again, that's what slows you down in the jump off because there's that 1 or 2 delayed strides as the horse re-kicks into gear. So if you never have to slow down, that's how you can stay fast. All right, USA's Kathleen Driscoll and Arome jumping now.
Easy.
That was easy in the 7. Oh. But coming down.
Maybe a little bit soft there at the end with the horse. Left him a little bit on his head at the vertical.
It's just a little bit long. The horse naturally wants to be a little long head to tail. And then I think when she moved up, just wasn't compressing the stride at the end.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So she's just taking her time a little bit, just wanting to finish up. Clears the last with those 2 down, 48.73 the time, and 8 faults for Kathleen Driscoll and Arome. So Shane Sweetenham, Irondell Du Float is the one leading the way at the moment, 38.26. Dara thinks it's maybe unbeatable. Let's see.
Who's actually, I think Paul O'Shea will be really fast if he can make the jumps up.
I think Paul can be fast, and I think Ben and Point Break. Zaina could be fast. So we got a couple of good ones coming up. But first of those is going to be Canada's Mario Delorier. And Mario is sitting on Costa Quick PS. Ooh, a little playful.
This horse is a little bit greener. I can't imagine Mario being super fast with it today. I think it's a really, really special horse.
It is a jumper.
It's going to be a Grand Prix horse for sure. Mario is an incredible picker of horses. Obviously, Amsterdam he picked, and he always, you know, he picked Sella that Ben Mayer had. He picked Amsterdam. He picked Bardolino. Like, he picked this horse. He's an incredible picker of horses, and this looks like his future, this horse.
Absolutely. And he has that other one.
Oh, Jesus.
And not today. Like we said, a little bit green. I can see him up and okay on the backside. But horse a little bit green still at this level and just came around the turn to the wall and maybe just didn't quite see it and just didn't come up the way that he wanted.
Yeah, he got a little bit green in the turn, and I think, you know, with hackamores on horses, it's difficult when you're going to jump off.
Yeah, steering is hard.
Yeah, and I think the horse just got a little bit green in the turn, spooked a little bit, ended up a little bit away, and the horse just got careful.
Yeah, exactly. The horse was a little bit insecure. Like we said, with that hackamore, when you don't have turning through the corners of their mouth, sometimes it's a little bit where they're not quite looking at the jump as you make the turn. Even though you know where you want to go, they don't quite follow sometimes in the hackamore.
Yeah.
But Mario is up and okay walking out of the ring, so horse and rider looking just fine. They'll hopefully be back another day.
Yeah, I think that's a really special horse. I think for the future that's going to be one of Mario's best ones, and I think this is only a building block.
Exactly. All right. Again, Shane Sweetnam leading the way at the moment, 38.26. Irondel Duflo is the current leader of this class, and we've got 6 left to see in this jump off. And we're going to take a look at Jimmy Toronto. Jimmy is sitting on Cochio Z, the Isalu Incorporated and Jet Show Stables entry of the 10-year-old gelding by Cannon. Let's see what Jimmy can do. What do we think? I think this is a little bit of a slower moving horse than Shane's. So Jimmy's going to have to give it a real go if he's going to catch him. Looks like he's also going to come off the left lead.
Yeah, he's got to be on it to beat Shane. You know, Shane didn't really leave much anywhere, you know. I think maybe if you can get 7-1-2, then at which Paul's horse has a massive stride, so he could. Jimmy coming a little bit different to jump 1, so he's going to try and get the 7, I think.
Yeah.
Nope. No. Ends up a little bit slow there.
Yeah. Again, it's hard to leave. You want to leave that stride out because you know that's for sure faster, but when you do that and you have a roll back into a double, you open the stride up so much. That's hard. That's hard to get him back in the balance and make that turn tight.
Yeah, you got to do what suits your horse, you know. You got to do what's the best for your horse, and if you have a massive striding horse, you can do the one less, and if you don't, you're better off do the one more and try and turn a bit tighter.
Exactly. So Jimmy ends up doing 10 across the middle, gets a nice kind of angle, so he's already heading towards the last. But 39.71 will be his time, and that'll put him into 4th at the moment. 39.71 is that time.
Horse jumped very well today. It looks like a really good horse, and I'm sure Jimmy will be happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he'll be happy to take that double clear. And he'll get a good piece of this today. Again, $62,500 up for grabs. Valuable 5-star ranking points. But this is a very fast combination coming up. Let's see if Paul O'Shea and the Eye Candy Jumpers entry Squirt Gun. How fast can they be? We all know this can be a very fast horse. We all know Paul can be very fast. He, however, is doing our right lead to the first.
Let's see what happens.
Let's see if it works. So he does the 8, but he gets a good left to right bend back to this double.
That was very well ridden, actually. Oh, that's a pity.
Shame there.
He did a lovely curve of the 8, so he was turning back quite short to the double.
Exactly. Same thing like we were saying. Use the track to keep the pace up so you're not having to slow down by going too direct.
Exactly.
So he's got 1 left. He, with the 1 down, he will not be catching Shane, but good solid round there. 43.88 with the 1 down, 4 faults for Squirt Gun and Paul O'Shea.
I think Shane is looking in pretty good position at the moment.
He's looking pretty good, but Ben Mayer is coming up.
Yeah, Ben will be quick.
Ben is always risk. And this one, we're looking at Adrian Sternlicht and the Starlight Farms 1 LLC entry, Clemens 72. This horse can be fast with a big stride, but it wastes so much time in the air because it's such a beautiful jumper.
Yeah, and okay, it's a little bit greener horse. It's not used to going that fast, so I'm sure Adrian will be competitive, but she won't go crazy with it. But the horse is such a good jumper for the future for Adrian.
Yeah, exactly. I think she's trying to set it up for big-time meter 60 jumping in the future. So let's see what she does. Also coming off the left. Clemens 72. Well, she got the right lead. Oh, and back to the left. She gets the 7 easy. But the 2 7s we've seen, both times it came down. And that's what we were saying earlier in the first round. This horse wants a little bit of time. You were even saying, you said it so well about being quick but not making the jump quick. And I think when you try to go fast in a jump off with a horse like this, as it's green and just developing, needs to learn how to go fast and make the jump a little faster.
Yeah, exactly. They learn over time, don't they? It takes them a bit of time, and the horse has improved so much. I saw the horse in Spruce last year, and he was very green still, and he's improved so much since then, and he's just getting better and better. It's just going to be a process.
Absolutely. She'll finish up with those 2 down. 8 faults, 43.72, going into 6th place at the moment for Adrian, with 3 left to jump. And first of those is, of course, going to be Great Britain's Ben Mayer. Pamela Wright, Charlotte Rosetter, and Ben Mayer entry Point Break. Can the world number 2 beat Shane Sweetnam and his time of 38.26? I know Ben, he's certainly going to give it a try.
Yeah, he definitely is. He's nothing but competitive.
Yeah, exactly. You don't ever see Ben take it that easy.
This is a really cool horse also. Ben has produced this from a 7-year-old. He bought it at the start of its 7-year-old year, and he's produced it the whole way himself, and he's done a great job with it.
Oh. Doing the 8, but right on the right corner there of the vertical. That was neat, but he's going to have to really run. He's wider than Shane was. Shane was really tight back here.
Yeah, he's trying, but I'm not sure he's going to get him.
No, I don't think so. Good turn back there.
He's got to go now.
He's going to have to run flat out to the last if he's going to catch him. Oh, he's going.
That was quick.
That was really quick. That was really smooth to the last. Did he get him? He might have.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
38.12, and he got him. Wow, look at that. 38.12. Cool as a cucumber. He looked like maybe the first half, but that's to the last, I think, is where he really caught him.
Yeah, he kind of, it looked like he knew exactly what he was doing. You know, he was balanced in the first half, and then he knew the last 3 jumps he could run them a bit.
Exactly.
And it paid off.
That was very cleverly done and gorgeous execution by the world number 2. So Ben Mayer takes over the lead, Point Break, 38.12. And, of course, Shane was 38.26, so they were really only a 1/10 of a second apart. But let's see if the young Zaina Rizvi can try and catch the new time set by Ben Mayer, 38.12. And Zaina is going off to the races with Kung Fu and the Kung Fu group entry of the 9-year-old Dutch-bred gelding. Nice and patient there in the 8. Good turn back here.
Yeah, it looks like she's going quick, but not too quick, just because the horse is still young and green.
Exactly. I think trying to have as quick a time as she can without really running it off its feet.
Yeah. Very solid round.
Beautifully smooth. Oh, she just has the vertical down.
Yeah.
Just looked like she was still traveling kind of as she got
Yeah,
there.
exactly. She needed the balance just for a second off the ground and give the horse a second to jump up.
Yeah, exactly. So Zaina will pick up that 1 down, 4 faults, 41.34 for the young Zaina Rizvi and Kung Fu. It was a really solid round, however, and shouldn't be too unhappy with that. And Shane is going to jump off his second, so he is already assured of the win. But can he make it a 1-2 finish? Let's see what he can do on the wonderful James Conn Cruise, owned by the Gizmo Partners, LLC.
I'm interested to see what he does here.
Yeah, me too. We were talking about it before. Was he even going to jump off or not jump off? And again, like we said, I think he's trying to set the horse up, but it's enough money. It is a 5-star.
Yeah, and he probably feels the horse needs some more rounds, and you know he's just getting going. This is, I think, his first week showing down here.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
He's just getting him up and going. So
coming off the right like we like. Easy in the 7. Neat, but I think another stride than Ben did.
Yeah. He's not going to try and win the class, but he's just practicing with the horse, a few turns and this and that.
Exactly, like we said, just getting a couple more jumps and another round under the horse's belt, just starting out this 2024 season. And of course, I think building up for 2 weeks' time, the 5-star of week 7 here. And of course, Shane already assured the win, so he'd only be beating himself.
Yeah. Very good.
Very good. Jumped beautifully both rounds. So 43.50 is the time for Shane Sweetnam. That'll put him into 6th place with this entry. But, of course, he is our winner of the class. No, he's not. Sorry, he's not assured of the winner. Ben.
Yeah.
I keep thinking it was Shane. It is Ben Mayer will win our class. 38.12 is the time for Ben. So Shane will end up 2nd. And with that 38.26. I was saying Shane Sweetnam, and I was wrong. So that means Ben will win, Shane in 2nd. And I think it's going to be Nicola in 3rd, 39.03. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah.
I think 3rd's going to Nicola. So this was a super class, $62,500 Hermes CSI 5-star meter 50 classic. They'll be coming up shortly with the prize giving. And we saw 56 horses contest this first round. And there are our final results. 1st place to Ben, 2nd to Shane, 3rd to Nicola. Charlotte Jacobs will finish in 4th, Jimmy Toronto in 5th. Shane on his 2nd mount, the one we just saw, into 6th place. And this is going to conclude our 5-star competition here this week on Super Sunday of week 5. But of course, our 2-star Grand Prix coming up in a little bit. So definitely stay tuned for that. And again, of course, thanks to our sponsor today, Hermes. Since the company was founded in 1837, Hermes remains dedicated to making high-quality, handcrafted equestrian products for the horse, rider, and barn. Our workshops maintain a tradition of saddle making passed down from generation to generation of skilled artisans. With a strong commitment to innovation, Hermes integrates new materials and technology to develop high-performance technical apparel and equipment to meet the needs of riders at the highest levels of equestrian sport. Of course, presenting our live stream all season long here at the Winter Equestrian Festival, Dodd Technologies. Dodd Technologies is an industry leader in creative design and technology support services for sports, entertainment, corporate, and special events. Visit us online at doddtechnologies.com. And today's live stream is also presented in part with the support of the U.S. Equestrian Federation and the USEF Network. And thanks again, of course, to this week's title sponsor for the 5-star here at Wellington International. It's Fidelity Investments. We thank all of our supporters throughout the season here. Of course, I'm with you guys for the WEF Challenge Cups, our meter 50s, and there is our 2nd place finisher, Shane Sweetnam. He's making his way into the arena. Of course, he was 2nd on Irondel du Flot. Looked like he was unbeatable, but Ben caught him, huh, Darren?
Yeah, Ben is just slick at that.
Yes,
he does
he
that
is.
to a lot of people.
Probably why he's number 2, soon to be number 1 in the world.
Exactly.
He made it look so simple, and you thought, he's never going to catch him, never going to catch him. And just very tight track to that last jump, and I think he was, and he did just catch him, but only by a 1/10 of a second. But Shane, of course, having a beautiful round. Can't be too disappointed with that double clear in 2nd place. He did win the meter 50 last week. He won the meter 45 also last week. So
he's having a good run at the moment.
He certainly is, and he has a bunch of really good ones. That Combella horse is really nice coming up.
He is a great group at the moment. He's produced them very well himself, and he does a very good job, Shane.
Absolutely. And there's our 3rd place finisher, Nicola Philipparts of Belgium, and Pandora Vandakova. Of course, we're going to see our winner making their way in just a second. And there, the
I think Ben is trying to please his sponsors.
Yeah, yes, he is. Look at that. Lovely. He is supported by Hermes, and now he can give a little support back.
Yep.
Winning. He's got that beautiful orange cooler on. And he's decked out in Hermes gear, so he's the perfect candidate to win this class.
Exactly. A little bit of extra motivation.
Exactly. There's our third place finisher. That time, of course, was 39.03. Congratulations to Nicola Philipparts and Pandora. And then, of course, our second place finisher coming on up. There he is, Shane Sweetnam. Beat out at the end by Ben Mayer. But Shane's time, 38.26, was the time on Irondell du Float. Of course, he's sitting on James Conn Cruise at the moment. Congratulations, Shane. And, of course, to our winner here for the $62,500 Hermes CSI 5-star meter 50 Classic, Ben Mayer and Point Break. Pamela Wright, Charlotte Rosetter, and Ben Mayer. Entry time was 38.12. So he caught Shane by 1/10 of a second. And now they will do the national anthem for the United Kingdom. All right, we're going to say bye to Dara. Thanks so much for being here, and we'll see you next time. Good luck coming up in a few weeks.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you later. All right, Dara's off, and we will take a look as they raise the flag for the anthem here. All right, congratulations again to our winner, Ben Mayer in first. Second is Shane Sweetnam. Third, Nicola Philipparts. They're going to do their victory gallop. And thank you guys again for joining us. I'm your host, Danny Waldman. It has been an absolute pleasure joining you guys on the live stream today for the conclusion of our 5-star competition. Stay tuned for the 2-star Grand Prix, and I'll be back with you guys in another week or two. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.